Yeah.
Right on.
Welcome, everybody, to the Miles and Crawford Variety Hour. This is Miles here. Crawford is under the weather, so it's just me, but tonight I have a wonderful co-host. It is Sean from the What Does It Matter podcast. It is an excellent podcast. I'm going to introduce him, let him tell you all about his awesomeness, and we will go from there. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. Welcome, Sean. By the way, let us know all about the WDIM.
Thanks for that really kind intro. I'm kind of taken aback.
I love your podcast.
Thanks.
It's a lot. I mean, it's not like Crawford and I, but I mean, it has that raw sense of just anger and what the fuck, you know?
Anything goes. Yeah, that's why I remember the first time hearing your show, going, "My God, I've got so much fucking work to do." I have so much work to do.
Well, why don't you tell the listeners? I am assuring that most of our listeners have interacted with you on Twitter at some point, but tell everybody all about WDIM and all about you.
Right on. I mean, what does it matter? Just because I didn't want to choose any set topic, because not that I'm against shows that do that. I love shows that do that. I'm into everything, so I don't want to limit myself. I always felt it very limiting when I was a songwriter. People would say, well, you know, you've got this one song that's very progressive, like Yes and Rushy, and then you got this other one that's kind of like Toad the Wet Sprocket-ish. You kind of got to find a balance. I'm like, they both sound like me. What the hell are you talking about? So when it came to doing a podcast, I knew who my first few guests were going to be. I knew what we were going to talk about. And none of them had anything to do with anything but the fact that one was talking about a movie, one was a guy that was in a movie, one was a girl that was in the same movie as the guy that was in the movie, and then another guy was a guy from that movie podcast. So, but I knew after that I didn't want to stick to that. I say so a lot between sentences. I got to stop that. Listeners, anytime I say so, but hey, you know what? Take a drink. It's the What Does It Matter podcast drinking game. I feel like I'm just prattling on.
I say the word like all the time. Like, but like, this is like how this like goes. That is my verbiage that I hear, especially in editing a lot, is that it's either or like, and I'm, shit, stop saying that so much. So I get it. So you are also a singer-songwriter. So what is your music about?
Same as What Does It Matter, except not as vulgar. I have some of those.
Is it acoustic? Is it like... see, as I said, what are the genres that you would landscape your music into?
Like, so I would say... progressive rock meets, like, I love early Floyd, so there's that psychedelia.
Oh my God, early Floyd is so good!
Right? Actually, I love all Floyd, but early Floyd seems to be that thing when I'm writing, like, it just grabs me. Any prog rock, I just love progressive rock, like Yes, Rush, Dream Theater, stuff like that. But
how do you feel about the Moody Blues?
I do and I don't. I don't like In Your Wildest Dreams, but I mean, I also know that that's, 80s. But they have some, like, really, their deep cuts are, like, 18 minutes long. They're like Yes, and I love that stuff. But their singles, I'm kind of like, I don't know, guys. How did you get somewhere?
Yeah, that is one of those things where when I talk about my fondness for the Moody Blues, for one, like, I'm in my 30s, so people find that very strange. But, again, it's albums or tracks that my dad religiously played growing up. And that's, again, how you talk about early Floyd or any of that kind of Yes, Journey. Some of those things that were staples in my house, growing up. So it's, when I hear certain songs, I'm like, my heart, it just weakens. And there's other songs out there, though, that I've heard from the Moody Blues that I'm, fuck, what is this shit?
Like In Your Wildest Dreams.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just not that good. And it's kind of in the same spectrum of Stevie Wonder. Because I have a lot, I actually didn't really grow to love Stevie Wonder until the later years of my life. Like, I would say about the 20s and up. And again, a lot of Stevie Wonder's albums are hit and miss. you kind of love his albums or you hate his albums, because I feel like it's really hard to like one song off an album without loving the entire album. It's one thing, like, even Stevie Wonder I thought did really well in, is that when you bought his album, it was the album.
Yeah.
And that is what almost it always sounded like. But 2 years later, he'll put out a different album, and it sounds nothing like what he did before, and it was fascinating.
So you don't like the soundtrack to The Women in Red?
I mean, there's
I just called to say.
It has that warm sensation that I can appreciate its value, but I don't necessarily enjoy. It's how I would describe Richard Marx. So there is somebody who I really, truly don't enjoy by any means. However, my mother was a big, hardcore Richard Marx fan growing up. So when there are certain songs that come on of Richard Marx, my it's I also, and growing up too, I had a really weird crush on Kevin Costner during the Robin Hood movie that he did. So that whole soundtrack of Robin Hood that had Kevin Costner in it it's stupid. I know how terrible it is, right? But
I like Michael Kamen. I film music's my favorite music in general, so I love Michael Kamen. I like his score for that movie. It's just
so
not
good.
the best Michael Kamen I've ever heard. The best Michael Kamen you're going to hear is Uncomfortably Numb, Silent Lucidity from Queensryche, High Hopes. Like, that's good Michael Kamen. Or even the Lethal Weapon movies with Eric Clapton and David Sanborn.
Yes! Really... Oh, thank you for mentioning Sanborn, because I feel that nobody mentions him ever in the later... Again, mid-30s, that we talk about what our parents raised us on. I talk about how I was influenced by music. And I think that there's so many people who just... or they only know Jethro Tull for the name, but they don't know him by the album.
It's like they think he's just one guy.
Or they only know Peter fucking Frampton, like for those one song, and that's it. And there's so much more if people really dive in, like you said, just to movie soundtracks. And that was always actually how I enjoyed movies, especially, growing up, was, do I like their soundtrack? Do I want to buy their soundtrack on album? And that, because if you take all these movies without any soundtrack, not to say they're all shit by any means, but I'm going to say 65% of the movies won't have that emotional gut to it if it didn't have the music. Would Armageddon even be ever anything if Aerosmith had never produced the song to go along with it?
Well, yeah, because Trevor Rabin had a gorgeous score to underscore it, I guess. Wow, score underscore. Trevor Rabin, I think the smartest thing he did after leaving Yes was starting to score movies. He unfortunately started with The Glimmer Man, but everybody's got to start somewhere. But then he did a gorgeous score for Armageddon. I love his score for National Treasure. And sometimes I'll watch a shitty movie.
I haven't heard that or seen that movie in so long.
Oh, yeah.
So long.
Well, it is, if you saw the sequel, you're like, wait, I already saw this once before, and I don't need to watch this fucking movie anymore.
It's kind of like watching The Mummy and The Mummy 2 and any of the Mummy movies. Anything with Brendan Fraser in general.
Those first two Mummy movies are so much ridiculous fun. The third, terrible. I hated it.
Third is terrible.
Yeah.
I will agree. There's something about fun movies that people will shit on. But it's not meant to be this intense movie. It's meant to be
it's a popcorn
fun.
Flick, yeah.
You gotta have them. I was trying to talk about what's that one? It has Roseanne's husband. What's his name? Can't think of it.
Tom Arnold? Or do you mean like on the show? John Goodman.
On the show.
John Goodman.
John Goodman did a movie. I want to say it was called Matinee.
Oh, I remember Matinee.
You remember Matinee? And they're trying to save it, and they put all these crazy. So that was actually the very first movie I got to invite. It was around my birthday. It came out, and I got to invite boys for the very first time for my birthday. This was a really. But so again, there is a time history in my life, and I remember the very first time I made my husband watch it. He's, this is shit. Well, yeah, duh. But it's not, it wasn't a movie that was meant for, like, it's not John Goodman, you know, and all of his
It's no King Ralph.
But it's a stupid popcorn flick that I will always appreciate because it has its own value to me, you know, where it's a dumb movie. It's like the Mummy movies. It's like Brendan Fraser in general. Brendan Fraser was never meant to be a serious actor, in my opinion. I think they tried. He scored the Serious Actor Awards to me when he did Jordan's brother on the TV show Scrubs.
God. My God.
Dude,
that second episode that he was in, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but when JD says to Cox, like, hey, you know, where do you think you are? It's like, that's, oh my God. Right?
Dude, there is nothing that, like, burns your soul.
It's
like
so
that one, like,
good.
Huge Scrubs fan over here.
Ditto.
And I get how everybody can hate me, but I really appreciate Zach Braff. I know how fucking annoying he is to everybody, but I love him. I do. I love Zach Braff. Garden State and Scrubs were just they were just monumental in the emotional value. Like,
yeah.
You can't, and even Wish You Were Here was really good.
Is that the one that Turk was in it too? It just came out. I haven't seen it yet, but I love that those two are best friends.
Yeah, they were best friends in real life, but the one we were talking about, you know, and Brandon Fraser, even in Scrubs, you know, he really played this. He played the goofball fucking brother, you know, and he was crazy and always taking pictures and doing this thing. But again, what his character became more serious because of Dr. Cox.
Yeah.
And because of the fact that Dr. Cox, who was such this, if anybody hasn't watched Scrubs, I don't care if I'm spoiling shit, you should have already watched this fucking series by now. But Dr. Cox is such a baller. He's such an asshole. And to kind of see him break down, you know, and to see that friendship, I think only enhanced what Fraser did to the show.
Oh, absolutely. Any episode where John C. McGinley has to go from being that asshole to actually, like, caring about somebody, like, flat out, full out caring. Because there was the one with, what the hell's her name? Shit. She was on Mad TV. She's on Disjointed now. She was on an episode of Boston Legal also. And
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
She had a 3-episode arc, and like the last time you see her, it's just JD in a daydream, and like she had done what they thought she was going to do. And that's another fucking episode. When that show gets serious, it rips your heart out of your ass.
It really does, and I think again, it's and not only that, but Scrubs has probably one of the most its soundtrack is fucking spot on. I get for people who watch Grey's Anatomy, but Grey's Anatomy is too much crying emotional bullshit for me. And that's as me, how I feel about it. I tried Grey's Anatomy. I know their soundtracks are great, but Scrubs soundtrack it killed it every time.
Absolutely.
It brought about the lead singer. Oh, come on. The guy that was always.
Oh, Colin Hay.
Yes, that's the guy. That's the one. Love all of his appearances. And not only that, but his songs were so catching that I couldn't wait to download, and back in the day, folks, download the soundtrack for Scrubs, because I'm like, where I want to find the song.
Somebody got me a 6 or a 6 disc or 8 disc set of every song that was ever on it, including when cast members would just bust into the song. So I've got Carla singing "Talk Dirty to Me."
Oh man, that'd be so good.
And I've got the everybody singing the Erasure tune. It's like that show, the TV show that got me into actually paying attention to why a soundtrack, a song choice is perfect on a show is Dawson's Creek, and I never really appreciated it as much until when it was on DVD and they replaced the songs, and the vibe of an entire scene would change completely. So when I'm watching Scrubs, I'm like, wow, every song choice, every nuance, Colin Hay just walking by singing night after night. Yeah, just what a perfect show.
Oh, that is my favorite episode ever. I mean, that...
I can't even sleep. It's so good.
It's so good. And I hope that everybody who's listening to this right now goes to Scrubs and is just like, what the shit are they? It's such a great series, I think, because Scrubs kind of came out, so we had been done with ER. So, and again, ER went to shit. I don't know. Whenever John Stamos definitely came in, that fucking TV show went to shit.
Hey, you leave the Stamos alone.
I'm just saying he really kind of ruined that.
Oh, he's not a good actor.
No. But for me, it was after Anthony Edwards. Dr. Green. Yeah, so he passed away, and then in that, if you haven't watched ER, I'm not.
No, I know I had a brain tumor.
Like
I watched the last episode.
If people are getting spoilers, fuck off, you know. And then Dr. Carter, went through all of his shit and whatever else. And kind of when Dr. Carter left, I just quit watching because it just wasn't the same show. And so, but NBC hadn't produced a really good Doctor series, in my opinion, and then they came out with Scrubs. It was NBC, right? Yeah. And then Scrubs comes out, and it really kind of reinvigorated my passion for hospital dramas. And I think it really just, that success, in my opinion, is the only reason why something like Grey's Anatomy even kind of started, because they realized that niche was still there. And unfortunately, I mean, it's gone into now there's just, there's every, NBC, ABC, whatever, CBS, they all have their doctor dramas. But a lot of that all began with NBC and Scrubs. ER was great. I mean, that's where George Clooney, in my opinion, really got his start. That's where
you're not going to give it to Return of the Killer Tomatoes?
Look, that is such a good flick.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. I only know the first one.
It's crazy, but George Clooney, even in ER, I think that's when he kind of breaks down into what he could be. That's when the boy toy George Clooney was really out there, where you could kind of see like his male sexuality persona is exemplified, in ER.
Oh, he got me wet.
But I mean, and then, Scrubs comes out, and here's something that, like you said, when they wanted to get deep and emotional, and not only did they hit it, like, just on the fucking story level, but they just dug it home with that soundtrack.
Oh,
and you couldn't, it's the only time that, when was it, oh shit. Let's see. JD's on Elliot is upset because she hasn't found her epitome from Michael J. Fox, who was there. And Michael J. Fox did like a 3 or 4 episode, whatever, high. And all pissed off because she hasn't found her right. And there's like this, I don't remember exactly what song it was, but she's sitting on a toilet on a rooftop having an epitome. And it's the only time that, again, because of a soundtrack, that instead of laughing hysterically, that you actually get emotional from this girl having her pants down on the rooftop of a hotel taking a shit. You're like, oh my God. You're not finding it funny, but because of the soundtrack, it actually has this very, like, deep emotional, like, she's found her reason to be a doctor.
I gotta watch
she's
that
found
fucking
her
show,
voice.
because I totally forgot about the rooftop toilet.
Yeah, and it's all because of Michael J. Fox, and, he's, that's kind of how they played in his beginning of Parkinson's disease, was instead of having Parkinson's, he had an OCD disorder. Yeah. And that's kind of how they got him in his beginning stages, and him kind of not finalizing, but still being able to act through it. And again, Michael J. Fox coming into that was a whole nother ballgame, and that was a whole nother storyline. And, it's, I could talk years on Scrubs. Like,
Scrubs is one of those sitcoms, and it's very rare that a sitcom's able to get that serious moment out of it. I don't know if you remember Family Ties.
Oh my God, I love Family Ties.
The episode where Alex's friend died, and it was an hour-long episode, and then like the second half was just him on like a black stage, and then like everybody would like come in and interact with him, and it was like him going through grief. That was a really, really dark episode, no pun intended. And it's very rare that a show can do that. When Edith got raped on All in the Family.
Yeah.
Like it's really rare when a show can do it well. Like some comedy sitcoms tried to do it, and they don't always pull it off. And Scrubs really nails it, and then you've got those handfuls every now and then.
And I think that's exactly what it is. I think that I have a really hard time keeping up with whatever fantastic things that are on TV. You know, one, I don't have cable. I am a streamer. That's just how it happens. So I always have my go-tos of things I had watched prior to us getting rid of cable. I would have to say that the only other show that I found that really kind of was able to mix that in, I will say that Blackish is definitely one of my favorites right now. Only and there's a million reasons to love Blackish, because I described it last time as it gives me the Cosby Show feel, but an updated version. And I know that we hate using Cosby for all of what Bill Cosby turned into, but it gives you that same upper black family, you know, kind of the way that how the Cosby kind of brought you into their family life. Blackish very much does so. And at the same time, though, last season they had this really, I mean, the whole season by all means was phenomenal, because they're hitting on Trayvon Martin, they're hitting on Trump, they're talking about Hamilton, they're doing all kinds of things, but in the in-betweens, they have these uplifting moments, you know, but it had also come up from, you know, years of them kind of, you know, Dre always playing the race card, you know, he's like, he's the only black guy that works at his, you know, he's always playing it in a funny, you know, very, like, lighthearted kind of manner. It's nothing too serious, but there's moments, though, that it gets toned down.
Right.
And it gets serious. And then it's brought up by, you know, something stupid his, you know, black privileged kids are doing. You know, and his parents are mad because his kids are black and privileged. And this is not how you were raised, you know? And
I love Lawrence Fishburne. I love Lawrence Fishburne.
It's so good. But it's great because it brings in that dynamic that I think that even like Modern Family really failed to grasp.
Oh, I love Modern Family a lot.
I love it. I don't miss an episode, you know, but they failed to grasp, you know, kind of a lot, and they're doing great, don't get me wrong. They're a great show. I love watching them, but those really deep emotional episodes, we don't get from them.
Yeah, I know I'm sure you're aware of the announcement that was made over.
No, I'm not. I haven't watched the last 2 weeks.
No, I'm not.
I heard that there's some big major death. I don't want to hear that yet.
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
We don't have cable either, but I have a way that I got, like, I think for 2 months for 99 cents because of Spotify. I've got Hulu, so I'm like, I don't want to. I want to know who it is, like, when it happens. So I don't want to, like, it's not. I buy the DVDs. I buy the DVD set, like, when it comes out every year, and we just binge it over like 2 or 3 days. And I really love that show. It's minus the 7th season. It's one of the most consistent shows ever on television. So now my whole thing is like, Ed O'Neill, that's too easy. Like, and you don't kill Jay, because then, like, Gloria, like, she's gonna end up with Benjamin Bratt, or like he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Like, but maybe, like, kill somebody that is a character. It's a main, like, but why can't it be a secondary character? Why can't it be Nathan Lane? Why can't let it be Pepper? Pepper's hardly ever on the show. Pepper's annoying. Or it could. I mean, it could be really fucked up. It could be Joe. But but also think of this. Like, it could be Stella. Stella is a character. Pets, as we all know, have I don't want to call it a shelf life, but we don't have our pets forever like we do a child.
Ed O'Neill will be devastated.
I know,
if Stella,
but we're gonna get a serious episode out of that. But it's going to have that lighthearted little joke that's thrown into it. But that's a show that wouldn't force it.
Yeah, so, and that's one of those great things. It's kind of like, have you ever watched The Middle?
Dr. Yanni Tor is in it, of course. Although I only watched the first 2 or 3 seasons before I was like, we don't need cable. So I've got to catch up on that.
The Middle is definitely something that is was one of the actually family staples in my house, where we have a handful of things that all 4 of us will sit down and actually watch together, because everybody has such a different version of what they, especially with 11 and a 9-year-old, what they actually want to watch. But The Middle was actually a show that they really embraced as well, which was really great for me, because the series just ended. And so when the series ended, we actually all waited till the very end of the night when everybody was done with everything. The kids were going to stay up late, and we all cuddled up on the bed.
Aww.
And all four of us just sat in the bed and we all watched the series end together because it had been such a show. And The Middle was one of the good shows that really, it was never too funny or too emotional. It had just the right bits, and Sue Heck and all of her losses, just because she never got anything, and then that middle child Brick, with his weird twitches that he had, and you had the Jock brother.
Okay. Can I ask you about, Axel, I know Axel, but I gotta ask you about Brick, because Brick
is so
I feel
crazy.
so awful, laughing at this, because it's not funny, but I remember his repeating every sentence became whoop.
Yes. Oh my God.
But then,
yes.
But we had missed so many episodes that when we caught that, we're like, wow, we've just got to catch up. So we'll wait until we can catch up. Did he develop any other tics after that?
He started. So he started to get away from some of the tics, which was monumental episodes where even Frankie was like, have you heard Brick do a whoop whoop? And they're like, no. What's going on? And he'd be doing really great, and then suddenly it would start all over again. With the underbreath or the whoops or there was something else.
Then don't tell me yet.
Yeah, I won't. But so Brick does, and they're very scarce, but I like the fact that Brick ends up finding a girl that's weird.
Good for him. Good for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you start to kind of see the evolution and Sue's super flamboyantly gay friend, right? So eventually they have an episode where Brad finally, he doesn't even really come out, but it's this, they're sitting in a car and they're talking, and it's one of those moments where he's like, Sue, I have something to tell you. And she's like, don't. I get it.
Nice.
If y'all don't know that Brad's gay, then y'all have not been watching the show.
When she introduces her brand new boyfriend, everybody's like, yeah,
I know. And so you really should follow it, because there's so much development and not so much. It's not like they win the lottery. They don't upgrade their house. There's nothing fantastic that happens to this family that gets them out. And that's why I love The Middle, because they are truly that middle blue-collar class, and they don't get anything that really actually works for them outside of, my kids are going to college.
Right.
My weird fucking kid gets a girlfriend, and those are wins. For a lot of parents who are like, we don't get to have some fantasy, of even Roseanne, in the last season where she wins the lottery and blah, blah, blah. Nobody gets that. And The Middle, that's why I appreciated them, because they were never really emotional, but they were funny, but at the same time, for a lot of blue-collared families or poor families or however the hell we are all living right now, we just got it.
There's the 1%, and then there's everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how many jelly beans are in this car? Can you guess how many jelly beans I put in the car?
There's so many good shows, and even The Middle didn't have a great, phenomenal soundtrack, but it did have, like you said, those little scores.
But it had heart, too, though.
It had heart, and I think that's what a lot, and what I feel, in my opinion, is that there is some shows out there that almost have too much heart. It's too much.
Yeah, but that's CBS. That's always on CBS.
Dude, thank you. That's who it is. CBS does nothing but fucking just drama.
But it's always Jericho's. All right, I've got to back up a second, because I loved Jericho, and because Jericho was on CBS, it knew it had to have at least a scene with that sappy shit in it. But they always made it quick and to the point. It's like, here's the sappy shit moments. Get the fuck out of the way so we can move on with the actual story of this show.
And I think that's it's so many of those things that miss it. And even NBC gives up on, we're on season. I can't watch Law and Order SVU, right? It's once I got pregnant with my first kid, I have never been able to watch Law and Order SVU. And my empathy is too much. So when I watch that show, I'm that mom, or I am that person. So I can't watch.
I was a
shit.
Tom girl growing up. I completely get it. I'm ultra sensitive.
Me, right?
Depending on who I'm hanging out with, sometimes I also feel not so happy or fresh during the month. Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. We appreciate you,
right? Right.
But NBC, in my opinion, or all the TV shows have not even put out anything like the original Law and Order. The original Law and Order is a staple, and they tried Criminal Intent, sucked balls. They tried SVU. For those people who like to watch it, kudos to you.
Binge it every time it gets on Netflix. I've got to watch it because every now and then you get a great storyline. Plus, Christopher Maloney, he's not on it anymore, spoiler, but that guy's fucking great.
No, he's so great. And SVU, when I did watch it at the beginnings, I mean, it was so good. And I know the storyline has been great. My one friend's a huge, she DVRs every episode, so I'll go over to her house, and it's on usually, and I can definitely watch it. It's not one of these, I refuse to watch this TV show. It's just not something I personally, watch. But I'm waiting for somebody to come out with a real, Law and Order, something that is equivalent to it, because Scandal, Making a Murderer, all those things aren't to me real law dramas.
First of all, Scandal, I have zero interest in seeing anything good happen to the guy that fucking got Sam Wheat killed over some fucking extra money found in a bank. Fuck him and his family. Guy got Sam Wheat fucking killed.
Exactly. And murder, what is it? Making a Murder. I mean, it's good, but it's not it's not real law. It's sex driven law.
Is it really? I haven't watched it.
It really is. It's look. It's not that the storylines aren't decent, because they are. Do they leave you intense at the end of every episode to make you say, "What? Who? Huh?" But at the same time, every lawyer's fucking each other. Somebody's a backstabbing bitch. It is MTV on a lawyer scale, in my opinion. And that's a part that sucks, because I really thought that this was going to be a show that dived into, into the actual aspects of, killings and murder, just that grimy shit. And then oh, great, so-and-so's fucking, and so-and-so found out, and so-and-so is going to go, do something bad to hurt this person, and they're all going to solve the crime about why their boss is a bad person. It's just, it became redundant, and I was pissed, because I thought, that's the only thing that TNT did correctly, but unfortunately, they can't get any of their good shows to stay on. Fuck, what was that one?
Are you talking about the one with Kira Sedgwick? The closer?
Maybe. It's the South... Shit.
Oh, Southland.
Yes!
My God. What? You know what? I'm actually... There were 3 seasons, right?
Yeah.
That sucks, because that show was awesome.
It was, and it ended on such a fucking shitty note.
I don't know. I've got 1 season to go, but...
Okay, just... It sucks how it ended.
Just answer one question for me. Did the big gruff guy ever come out, or was that always a secret?
Oh, you just wait.
All right.
Yes, but you just wait.
Did you watch the Crash TV series? Because when I think of the Southland show, I think of that TV series Crash, and it gave Dennis Hopper such a nice send-off. The last season came out after he had passed, and man, what a send-off for that guy.
Yeah, see, now I'm going to have to find out.
It was better than the movie, but...
See, and then, again, TNT's done this thing where TNT kind of picked up the slack, but they can't get a fucking show to last more than 2 or 3 seasons. Yeah. And that's fucking frustrating as well, where you're like, okay, we've got something good.
Well, maybe there's something fucked up going on behind the scenes, because everything seems to get canceled, or they can't... You know what, TNT, they do no drama, but it's probably all behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's so true.
Aren't they? Suits is on that station. That's in its 7th season or 8th season.
Is Suits on TNT, or is that TBS?
Oh, that's TBS.
It is TBS.
But it's Gina Torres.
And TBS is what made Tyler Perry great. TBS is the only reason that Tyler Perry exists. In all honesty.
No. His parents are the only reason he exists.
Well, yeah. That is true.
I recall sometime. I know that he was in the 2009 Star Trek. Oh yeah, what was the show? Tyler Perry's something or other. But
then My Dia came out. Tyler Perry does this. Tyler Perry does that. And I'm not discrediting Tyler Perry for those who are fans of Tyler Perry. Again,
I need the coffee table book. Tyler Perry's taking a shit.
And he makes an entire season out of it and makes like $6 million from it. And I'm like, I don't.
But he wrote something earlier on. I can't remember what the hell it was. And when I found out it was him, I was like, no fucking way. And then he did some other movie where it was a serious role. It came out a few years ago. And the guy's talented. The guy, he just knows what his audience looks for when it says Tyler Perry's this. You take the name Tyler Perry off the title and you put him in something different that isn't his thing. It's kind of like when Adam Sandler did Punch Drunk Love. It pissed people off.
Oh my God, love that movie.
First of all, Paul Thomas Anderson is a force to be reckoned with as a director. That guy made Boogie Nights. Need I say more?
No.
I was in that movie. I made a cameo at the end.
Oh, nice.
No, it's a joke about his dick at the end.
Okay. There we go.
But that's another thing, too. If it said, like, Tyler Perry's something and it wasn't what people expected, they'd be like, oh, that movie fucking sucked. It wasn't funny. Punch Drunk Love was never intended to be funny. Spanglish was intended to be a drama. It wasn't intended to be funny. But people, because they see Adam Sandler or they see the name Tyler Perry before something, they expect this one thing. Once again, so we can go back to my whole, like, what does it matter thing, where why stick to one fucking thing? Why can't people's minds just, I don't know, expand?
What? People expand? They change?
Oh, no.
What? No way.
No,
and I would agree because I think that's, what was it? So Will Ferrell, okay, so I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell fan. I'm going to put that out there, guys. I understand what Will Ferrell brings to the table and what he is in essence. However, he did that movie,
Everything Must Go.
Yeah, Everything Must Go is fucking awesome. And there was one before that where the writer,
Helen
every time
Mirren.
that she, Ellen Mirren.
Fuck, what was that called? That movie was great. Are you looking it up?
Good. I'm looking it up right now because
Stranger Than Fiction.
Really,
Stranger Than Fiction.
So Stranger Than Fiction comes out, and I am fucking pumped. I can't wait to watch Stranger Than Fiction because, to me, I see Will Ferrell as I've always seen Will Ferrell as much bigger than what SNL or these ABC movies have brought to him.
Right.
I'm like, there's something going on with Will Ferrell. Stranger Than Fiction comes out. I fucking love it. And everybody's like, let's fucking thumbs down this shit, but what the fuck is this even funny?
Yeah, but he was the perfect guy for that role. Nobody but him could do that. I'm going to give it to that and Buddy the Elf. I cannot picture anybody else playing those fucking roles.
Agreed.
Because
Agreed.
He did bring his sense of zaniness to Stranger Than Fiction. It just wasn't every second go, oh, and I'm going to be funny now. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, fuck beans. That was them. Ha, 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 ha. Funny now. Funny. Cheerleader joke. And so the fact that he went somewhere deeper. And even Buddy the Elf is a much deeper character than people give him credit for because he's being silly, but like he's feeling emotion. We see how lonely he is. We see like there's so much to Buddy the Elf and there's so much to Stranger Than Fiction that nobody else could have pulled that off like Will Ferrell.
And the other one that you mentioned,
Everything Must Go?
Come on. Everything Must Go. If y'all haven't seen Everything Must Go, just look, grab yourself a bottle of whiskey or a good 12-pack of beer, and especially if you're fucking feeling sorry for yourself. This is a movie that makes you feel a little bit less sorry for yourself, but fuck, man, can you relate?
Yeah.
You can so relate to Will Ferrell in that movie, and it makes me angry, again, when people just, they don't appreciate what he's... It's one of those things where it's like, fuck, man, like, if we think back, what people can become. Did I ever think Adam Sandler, Billy Madison, boy, could do Punch Drunk Love? Or, by the way, better than that, Reign Over Me.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And Don Cheadle. He and Don Cheadle had the greatest chemistry.
Dude, fucked my life up. I don't give a shit. Like, everybody's like, I've made some people watch it and that was so fucking depressing. I fucking know. But it's fucking phenomenally depressing. It opens your eyes to that fucking, like, sadness. It's kind of like anybody who ever watched Rescue Me on FX with Dennis Leary.
And Michael J. Fox.
It was all... Yeah, and it was all based right after 9/11, that fucked up mentality of the firefighters and their families, and how the women dealt with it, how the fucking firefighters dealt with it, how people who were trying to become firefighters after 9/11 dealt with it. Rescue Me is fucked up. That series is just fucked.
I have yet to watch that.
Dude, it's so... Dennis Leary is very much Dennis Leary all day. Cursing, smoking, whatever, sex having, fuck the world kind of human being. But it's kind of like watching Dr. Cox fall apart for season after season. And that's the only hard part about Rescue Me, is because you're literally watching somebody just fuck shit up. You know, they're self-sabotage for seasons on end. And it does. At some point, like, God damn, how much more can I... Like, you almost are like, somebody run him over with a bus. Like, he just... give him a sense of closure already. You know?
Holy shit. You know, you mentioned something before. I'd actually like to touch on it a bit. Because I understand the world's anger with... And I'm not angry because it didn't happen to me. And I'm not saying that, like... in a selfish way, like, because it didn't happen to me, it doesn't count. Of course it counts. Bill Cosby did something really, really fucked up. But how the world reacted was weird. Same thing with Louis C.K., where everybody was like, well, they were never funny anyway. Fucking bullshit. Louis C.K. was on his way to being the next fucking George Carlin. And I would never say something like that lightly, because George Carlin is pretty much my hero. And
so great.
Oh, absolutely. And Bill Cosby was funny. All these people that talk about, oh, they were never funny, fuck them. Like, I can understand, like, now that you know this thing, that this horrible thing a person did, going back to watch something like a masterpiece like Leonard Part 6 might be tough to watch now, because, Leonard Part 6 is always tough to watch. It's a piece of shit. But also, I mean, Bill Cosby hated
Ghost
doing
Dad,
that.
Though. I mean,
Ghost Dad. I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, Ghost Dad is a soft spot for me, though, and that's, like, I agree. Go on.
But
sorry.
no. That's where I was going. Like, it doesn't mean like the chicken heart joke isn't funny. The chicken heart that ate up New York City. Do you know that one? It's so good. His early stuff is amazing. He's got the thing about God talking to Noah and like, what? Who's there? Right, sure, you're God. All right. And he's got these great jokes about getting his tonsils out when he's a kid, and he's going to eat ice cream, all the ice cream in the world. A lot of people will mention himself. I think, himself was always overrated. Even I'm a 9-year-old kid watching himself, and Bill Cosby said the word asshole. I was like, oh, Bill Cosby cursed. No. This is not real. This can't happen. But, like, I liked the dentist bit. Everybody knows the dentist bit.
Yeah.
So, yes, this guy did something fucking awful. He did something fucking horrible that... he deserves to rot where he's rotting. I know he's trying to get out because he's miserable there, because he's not fucking Tommy Chong, who got busted selling a fucking bong, and everybody was like, dude, you're okay, man. You're Tommy fucking Chong. Like, if Bill Cosby was in jail for something like that, people would be like, no, man, you're Cliff Huxtable, man. You're a Jell-O shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently
and I think that's one of those things that really come in, like you said, like, I remember when Richard Pryor. Okay, so Richard Pryor I loved Richard Pryor, and I'm not going to say who it was, but I remember at some point when Richard Pryor had passed away, I was told that Richard Pryor had only gotten sick because of all of his terrible jokes that he made, and that is why. Right. So.
I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but
that's really fucked up, right?
Holy
like,
shit.
Somebody's like, dude, the reason that Richard Pryor, it was Parkinson's, right? Or was it MS?
It was
one
MS,
of the two.
and it was from all of his drug use.
Yeah, well, I was told that his MS was caused because of all of his, ungodly, like, jokes and his, shitty personality. But see, I love Richard Pryor. Now, when I listening to Richard Pryor was actually a good pastime. When my husband and I, when we first met, I was going back to college. It was 2.5 hours away, and we were trying to find a place to live. So every weekend we had off. We drove 2.5 hours, put in applications, look for apartments, stay in somebody's house, then drive 2.5 hours back home. Or sometimes it was go there, do all that shit, and then drive back in the same day. So a lot of Richard Pryor's old CDs on, stand-up comedy, that's all we listened to. Fucking hilarious. We both just loved him dearly. Now, listening back to some of those, I'm like, fuck, I cannot believe some of this shit was allowed.
Oh, that would not fly today in the social justice world.
It would not. Even as a black man, Richard Pryor made some really fucked up
Well, there was
jokes.
the joke about, like, I like it after intermission, all the white people come back and they find out the Negroes stole their seats. And I was like, oh, my God, man.
That shit would not fly
No,
today.
not at all.
But I, even in this nowadays, though, I'm there to appreciate what was. Like, dude, again, Louis C.K. fan, I watched every Louis C.K. that was out on FX. What did I...
Oh, that show was so good. That show was
good.
not about the comedy. That show was about a guy just falling apart.
Just fucked.
And just, my favorite episode... Or one of my favorite episodes is that I can't remember her name, and I feel bad, but that heavy girl that he meets on a blind date. That's such a beautiful episode where they just end up being really good friends. I love how Pam Adlon wants nothing to do with him on this show, but I loved Lucky Louie on HBO. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh, I haven't. It's been a long time since I've seen an episode of that. You know, like, and again, it's and how I've always said it was. I'm not mad that Louis is back to work. I get it. If there's people there that are to make you money, I'm not going to stop from feeding yourself or feeding your kids because I know that he has children. So I'm not going to fuck up your life like that. Do I look at Louis a little bit differently? Absolutely. However, did I ever think that Louis was a stand-up human being when I was watching him? No. There was no... If you ever actually watched Louis on FX, that you... How did you not see this coming?
Right.
In my opinion. I think that it was very, very poignant in all that entire series that Louis was a dirty fucking dog. And that he had some really fucked up sexual issues that he severely had to work out. And absolutely, when I realized, like, it was just more for me putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Louis a funny comedian. Louis a fucked up human being. Louis sexually harassing and showing his penis to people in real life.
Now, have you heard Sarah Silverman's thing? I'm sorry to interrupt, but like, have you heard her latest thing, Sarah Silverman? That she said, "Here's my experience," but she talks about when they were growing up. And sometimes she'd be like, hey, you want to watch me jerk off? And sometimes she'd be like, fuck yeah, that's hot. And sometimes she'd be like, hey, you want to watch me jerk off? She'd be like, no, it's fucking gross. And we'd go out and get pizza. And that was her experience with him. So, but if you're doing that at an age, and I know this because I'm a guy, and I've got a hand that needs work every night. So, for me, if that was happening at that age, I would think that that's the norm. I'm not defending the man at all. I'm not defending his actions whatsoever. No, but I'm just saying, like, you can get into the psychology of it at that point.
Absolutely, and I think that you're completely right with that. And that is where I said, in my head, Louis C.K. did some really fucked up shit, and I don't agree with it. And I absolutely 100% stand by and feel for the victims that had to endure that, who, again, misread the room, thought that he's being funny, and then he does it to you, and you are in such a shock, like, what the, like, you don't, I've been there, you don't know what the fuck is going on, like, it's a whole, it's in little terms, a splurge of shit that you have no idea what to do with. And so it's one of those things where, again, we all saw this coming. If you ever watch, in little terms,
I didn't want to make a joke.
I did. I made it. If you all ever watched Louis C.K., you understood that he was a very deprived individual, and at the same time, I think that he was very uneducated. I really feel that this guy did not really have a true understanding about right and wrong. I think that he lacks a moral compass, and that is not to blame on necessarily him or his parents or whatever else. That is just what it is.
Yeah.
And if you want to go watch Louis, I'm not going to sit there and say we're not friends anymore and you're a fucking piece of shit because you want to, or you still enjoy his comedy. And no. And it's the same with Bill Cosby. Like, I'm not going to take away what the Cosby Show brought to my life when I watched it, because I remember every single beginning. I remember all the characters. I remember how it brought around a different world. It brought around race relations. There was so many things that the Cosby Show did for us. And Bill Cosby is a piece of shit. And I completely agree that man, and he's 1,000 times worse than Louis C.K. could ever be, in all honesty. He is
absolutely.
Fucking Bill Cosby is a piece of shit.
Now, here's the thing. I will go. I actually saw Bill Cosby live 3 days before that whole shit went down. That comic. I can't remember who the...
that had to be interesting as shit.
I don't know who... No, because, like, nobody knew anything yet. So it was like 3 days, and then that comic in Philadelphia had told the story about it, and people just started investigating it. It was the first time... Actually, it was the last time, too, that the internet waited for an investigation before just declaring the person guilty. So I guess we can look at this as the bright side of things, because not everybody that's accused is guilty. I never victim shame at the same time, but I also know that, look what happened to Chris Hardwick. Where were the social justice warriors to exonerate him? Everybody, like the internet said, hey, this guy did something fucked up because I read this somewhere else. Bam! Everybody's like, fuck Chris Hardwick. So, but now Cosby, he's never doing a stand-up show again, ever. Louis C.K., I live like 10, 15 minutes from New York City. So I'm thinking about one night, if I actually know for a fact that they're going to... My problem with the club is that they put him on as a surprise at the end, and the surprise is everybody walks the fuck... Right, and the surprise is everybody walks the fuck out of the club because they don't want to be a part of it. I'm kind of curious what he has to say, and I doubt... Of course, he's going to make a joke about it. I understand, like, where somebody, like... You go through something that fucked up, you're making jokes. I was making jokes about my baby girl like within minutes because it's the best way to heal is through humor. I'm not a fucking comedian. This guy is. He's probably got some really fucking good jokes about it. The night that shit happened, I had a gig, and I made the first Louis C.K. joke. In between songs, guitar players tuning up, and I just go to the audience. I'm like, I'd like to now do my Louis C.K. impression. Do you mind? And
nice. Yeah, I can imagine how that went over.
It went over pretty well, actually.
See, and that's, again, though, it's about reading your audience and about reading this.
Yes.
My husband and I were talking about it with a situation that he experienced recently at work about temp agencies hiring in a sex predator. And now the guy already served his time. I don't know. I don't know all the details, but
that's a gray area.
Here's somebody who got convicted of it, right?
Okay.
And he served his time, and now he's trying to get back into, making living wages. And he gets hired in to this facility by a temp agency, not by the actual company itself. And, then somebody finds out about this dude's back history, and now there's a woman who's uncomfortable. And again, it's how do you deal with that? Because you have somebody who's okay, and trust me, I get it. Feminists, y'all, I'm sure you can throw some eggs at me right now, but...
No, you eat eggs. You do not throw eggs at people.
But you have somebody who, and again, I don't know his offense. I don't know his whole backstory. I don't know the severity of the situation. So I'm going to put my hands in the air and say I'm blindsided, but I really am. But if he served his time, he's back out in the world, at what point as well what severity does it account for to get this guy his job back? At what, and then not only that, but now wherever he goes, if somebody refers to him on the internet, that's going to be,
that's going to be
public
the
knowledge.
Thing.
It's going to be the thing. And so if somebody's having a bad day, they could be like, this dude makes me feel uncomfortable, and it's either him or I.
I'm going to
That's a really hard call, I think, for a lot of companies.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
in the grant.
But this is all. No, wow, this is going to sound so fucking racist, and I don't mean it to. But this is where affirmative action ended up, is because now this guy, like, why can't this guy get a job? Yeah, and I'm not saying the rapist. I'm saying, like, people that are former inmates at your local correctional facility. I think. And I'm going to make up this ratio because I don't know what the actual numbers are, but the actual rehabilitation of somebody in prison from the time they start, somebody's actual guilty when they go to prison. From the time they go to prison, time they get out, I'm going to say the actual rehabilitation rate of the people once they get out, I'm going to guess it's like 12 to 14%. Because sometimes, depending on how long they're in there, that's a life you get to know, like Red, that's the laugh I always know. I always asked that when I had to pee, I had to ask. Like, it was always that thing. So I don't know this guy. I said, so again, take a drink, folks. Do you remember? Were you listening? Were you fucking paying attention at the beginning of this? I'm drinking. I took a drink. You didn't hear it because I'm magical. I don't think... for me, it's always got to be about the individual story. I don't like that whole hive mind thing of everybody that does this is guilty. Because how many people go to jail that aren't guilty? It's just awful circumstance. Lawyers that are fucking each other. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Sometimes, what does it matter? Sometimes people are just in the wrong fucking place at the wrong time.
Exactly. And I think that there's also, and that I've been learning a lot about my own, like, self-tolerance. So, and my husband was saying, his business in general will hire felons. They have no problem with hiring felons depending on what the felony is for.
Well, of course, do your due diligence.
Exactly. If you're going to hire a felon, okay, were they in jail because they fucking, sold, fucking an ounce of weed?
Yeah, did he sell an ounce of weed, or did he put his dick in a 5-year-old boy?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a huge difference.
Yeah,
and again,
I'd say.
Even with the sex, and I think it's one of those things that they don't make very well. Okay, the one thing I will say that's most fucked up in our justice system, beyond all the fucked upness, because if y'all have ever heard a podcast, y'all know we got some problems with the justice system.
I've never noticed.
But one of the other disparities that they refuse to, I think, help educate the public on is sex offenders. Because here's my thing. So, a few years ago, I worked at a factory, and there was a sex offender there. And I knew there was a sex offender that worked on my shift. And I just, I heard, and I just walked away, and I'm like, whatever. Like, if I don't have to work with this person one-on-one every day, there's a completely different department. I might see him on a smoke break or a lunch break, but there's no actual, I don't give a shit.
Right.
Because I don't know what his deal is. And then I find out about this dude's deal. And basically, again, here is this pro-con situation, because I love unions. Here's a fucked up part of the unions. Fucked up part of the union is this dude raped his fucking kid for 10 goddamn years, spent a bunch of years in jail, but because he was a part of the union, somehow or another, once he got out of jail, got his job back as a union member.
How the fuck did he get out of jail?
Because Ohio sucks. I'm not sure if you ever heard about the Brock Turner situation, but Ohio sucks when it comes to fucking sexual predators, period. So not only does he get out of jail after 10 years, he then also gets his job back. And when I started to learn this, then I become more uncomfortable when I see him. When he, nods his head and whatever else. I'm not, no, bro. Now, see, I know you. You're not some 19-year-old who fucked a 17-year-old or even a 16-year-old. You're a father who fucked his own boy. You're way past the, because to me, that's the worst kind of offense.
Well, I agree, but let me give you some words of comfort here.
Yeah.
All right, so you can feel safe knowing that you're definitely not his type, so you're not in any danger.
That is true. But
I can't believe I fucking made that joke.
Yeah, I know, me either.
Shit.
But when I see, when I would see him, if we were even in the same aisleway, this massive plant, I would literally take an extra 5 minutes to walk around to make sure there would never be an interaction. And did that make me uncomfortable? Yes. Did I make his life a living hell, though? No, because I knew, one, you're part of the union and there's nothing that they can do about it. Two is that we don't work in the same department, so there's no direct interaction, and that I can't suddenly have a problem with you. I have a problem with you as a human being, but unfortunately,
I hope so.
Yeah, but my corporation won't do anything about it. We had already lost, and this was coming off of the fact that we lost a lawsuit at the time the company I was working for, because there was a guy who was released for making a bunch of racial comments, but again, the union saved his job, and it wasn't racist comments. They went on strike, and during that strike, you bring in your helpers from other states, and a lot of those helpers were from down in the Alabama area, and this dude was chucking watermelons and fried chicken at them and making a bunch of racial slurs.
Whoa, all right, so now...
The corporation fired said dude because of this, and then eventually 2 years later, the union won on freedom of speech.
That's
and
not speech! That's assault.
And not only did this guy get his job back with the same company, he got 2 years of severance package pay.
First of all, oh my God.
I'm
not laughing because I find it funny.
This is when it says, what does it matter? This is the shit that's like, seriously, like, people are fucking up in real life, but we can't actually hold them accountable because here's a guy who's chucking watermelon and fried chicken at somebody, calling racial slurs on camera, loses his job, but then 2 years later, after enough lawsuits, gets paid 2 year severance package and gets his full-time position back with a guarantee of at least 5 years of employment without being able to get fired.
I'm just laughing at the absurd. I'm not laughing at the actions. I'm laughing at the absurdity.
But it's fucked up, right?
All right, Miles, we first of all have to say...
This is how the unions have fucked up. Like, dude, Jesus. Who are y'all fighting for, really? Like, God damn.
This person's actions do not represent our Alabamian friends, Frank and Derek of the Work Life and Balance podcast, because I don't think...
Love you.
I love them. But I don't think that they... Oh, my God. I don't think that they want their great state of Alabama, Greenbow, Alabama, represented that way.
No, but see, it was a guy from Alabama.
I know, but trust me,
Ohio's so
when I leave my state, I represent New Jersey, so I try to be as polite as possible, because I really want to throw off that stereotype, but it is true, we're all fucking assholes. But
yeah, we are.
You're from Jersey too?
No, I'm from Ohio, but in all honesty, Ohioans and New Jerseyans, what I have found working with people from New Jersey, we're not that far off.
You know what it is? Like, New Jersey's this armpit, and you got Pennsylvania, which is the heart in the middle, and then right after that, you got Ohio, which is the other armpit. Like, that's just how to look at it. Yeah,
it's really true. Like I said, like, we're just as big of assholes. Like, we're just different kind of assholes, but we're just as bad.
But you're not going out there throwing fucking watermelons and fried chicken at people.
No, not at all. But my town is, because we're a bunch of Republican white bread pieces of shit.
Does anybody understand that? Like like when they target other ethnicities. These are the same fucking cocksuckers that go and say things like, oh, well, you know, the human race, and people, and we've got to unite. Like, Hands Across America, that was a fucking Republican. Granted, like, the Republicans and the Democrats of today versus the Republicans and Democrats of the... You just got me fucking talking politics. Go fuck yourself. And I mean that with love. I mean it with love.
By the way, just so everyone understands, this is what Miles does to everybody. I don't mean it.
It's a different era, because I was in Hands Across America. I'm sure you might have been as well. And it wasn't... Republicans and Democrats worked together. It was this thing where, like, yeah, I want my agenda, and yeah, I want my agenda, but they fucking worked together for the benefit of the fucking country. Either that, I was just really blind because I was, like, 10. Now, today, you get these assholes that go, oh, blah, 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 oh, except for the black people. We can't have them there, black people part of it. But they're fucking really human beings, and... Hey, I might have a darker tan than you, but because I look a bit white, cracker ass, like, oh, I could be accepted.
And that is such a really interesting take, and I think that it's one of those things that...
I'm not going to say that racism did not exist in the 80s, trust me, it really did.
Oh, no, racism has definitely... And I think it is... it's one of those things that we have a really... I feel like you're not too far off from... I was born in 83, so I feel like we're not too far off in the generational aspect of things. Now, was it a priority? I don't think that racism, technically, the way that I was raised, and my own blinders, whatever it might be that somebody wants to stamp me on, whatever, but it wasn't a thing for me. Now, where there was very, very, very few black people that lived within my district, but I've never once looked at an African American, a Hispanic, an Asian, whatever. I've never looked at them any differently. To me, I judge them based on character and never have based anybody on color. That's just how it was. Now, I was raised with a very Southern Catholic mother who might have had her own stipulations about why am I hanging out with this group of people, and these could be bad, and what kind of parents are they, that kind of shit. But
it's those Jews that made you hang out with those blackies.
Exactly. But to me, that was never... When somebody says, what were my biggest concerns growing up? Okay, so I'll mention this because today is Today is the day that we laid Matthew Shepard to rest.
Today?
Okay, so today, 20 years later.
Are you serious?
20 years later, we finally laid Matthew Shepard to rest in New York City Cathedral, and we finally have laid Matthew Shepard to rest. So this Matthew Shepard, and I don't mean to go on a tangent, but I'm going to.
Go for it.
But Matthew Shepard was everything. Ryan White and Matthew Shepard, those are the two stories. We could talk OJ, Bill Clinton, blah, fuck that shit. If you want to talk about two stories that shaped my persona into the public eye, it was Ryan White, who was a white kid who had gotten AIDS through a blood transfusion, and the stipulation of Princess Diana shaking a kid with hands without wearing her glove. You know, those are memories. And Matthew Shepard was the reason that I started really understanding and diving in and befriending. And I made a literal effort to find, it sounds weird, but I made a little effort to find every gay kid that I possibly could. And I wanted to wrap my arms around them and let them know I love you. And it was because of Matthew Shepard. And that story shaped everything of who I am, about my passion, about what I care about, because I said, holy shit, this isn't just about, first of all, it made history in America. For once, we talked about the LGBTQ community. And we really talked about hate crime. We were vocalizing the fact that if this wasn't just, and I don't know how this story would have gone had Matthew Shepard been a different race.
Oh, that's a fucking dark thought, though.
I will respect that theory out there in the universe, but it is not the reality of which we live in. And the reality that we live in is that Matthew Shepard was a young, white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy from a country part who went out to the bars looking to have a good time, met the fucking wrongest fucking human beings on the face of the universe, and not only did they just fucking beat him, I mean, they fucking hung him up against fucking... Like, if you haven't read the Matthew Shepard story and you haven't learned about it, then you really need to educate yourself, because, I mean, not only did they beat this boy, they took off his shoes, they drug him by a car, they fucking tied him to a fucking wire fence, and they left him there to die, and thank God a farmer was doing his job and found him. And, you know, he ended up obviously dying from, you know, all the severity that he encased, and his parents, you know, suddenly became very, you know, huge advocates, you know, for the LGBT community. And because of Matthew Shepard is the only reason that we have the pride that we do today. And 20 years it took. 20 years it took for this just really adorable, amazing, religious gay man to be put to rest as a Catholic. Because that was a big thing. It wasn't about just finding Matthew Shepard a burial. It wasn't about just finding a church who would let Matthew rest. It was the fact that his family is Catholic. And they finally found a cathedral in New York that put on, not only did they give him finally a final burial after 20 years, but they now have a plaque that every time that you walk up and you get to give your, you know, your wafer and your wine, that you get to walk by Matthew's plaque. And to remember and to give him the respect that he deserves. Because it took us 20 years after this guy died in this horrific death to honor what he spurred. And that's the problem, is that it took 20 years. But that's something that shaped me. Whenever it's like, why are you so passionate? Why are you so crazy, Miles? Why are you, like, political? It's not about being political. I just want to... Look at the shit that has happened since 1983 until now.
That's not political
years.
At all. But it's
just emotional.
But there's so much stupid shit that happens. I remember I had a sinus procedure done. They say because I was put under, it's a surgery. It was a procedure. But that was the same day that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of gay marriage. And like right away, my joke was like, "Hey, you know what gay people call marriage? Marriage." Like, it's just because I was always 100% for it, because the way I looked at it was like this. These people, they're fucking American citizens like you and I. They're paying the same fucking taxes, but they can't get the same tax breaks. They can't fall in love and just have this, like, be recognized by the rest of the world because, like, it's a dick into a butt or a dick into... I don't know what the fuck the gay guys do. or even the lesbians. I understand bagel bumping. I've watched a lot of that. But it's love. At the end of the day, it's fucking love. We've got to get the fucking religion out of our politics again.
And now, if we're going to get the religion out of our politics,
we got to get our politics out of religion.
If you guys want to actually have religion in politics, here's what I'm asking:
tax the fucking churches.
Abso-fucking-lutely, because that's my biggest conundrum. You want to, and again, the churches. Okay. So,
Joel Osteen, suck my dick, pay some fucking taxes, you piece of shit.
Yes.
You're an embarrassment to Texas. Actually, you're an embarrassment to Texas. Don't tell me to shut up and sing, cocksuckers.
See, and that is my biggest thing, is because, again, it was Matthew Shepard who really changed my perception.
I can imagine.
Religion in general. Now,
his parents really waited that fucking long?
20 years.
That's sad. That's really fucking sad.
It is, and they're amazing advocates, and again, anybody who's listening to this who have not really dived into the Matthew Shepard story, I will put this up on our blog site, but please, like, give Matthew the respect that he deserves.
Absolutely,
it was a really huge thing that affected, my generation, and not only that, but what was really upsetting, because we were talking about Law and Order earlier, is that Law and Order actually did a really beautiful episode about the Matthew Shepard story, and that is the one episode they never re-air. They never re-air it. I have never seen that as a rerun except for once, ever. And I'm like, this is something that should always be talked about, because it's not about your personal feeling, but it is and it isn't. Like,
it's a human being.
It's a human being. Like,
actually, let's rephrase that, because we both said that he's a human being, not it's a human being. The subject matter is a human being. He's a human being, yes. And people just decided to be fucking
shitty, because they don't. And I don't understand. Like, how can we go to art museums?
And I want to point out to your listeners now that, like, you're worked up enough that Judy Greer's twin is smoking a cigarette into the microphone because she just got that worked up.
I've been really good.
You're not going to get in trouble for that. Like, your husband's not going to hear this and be like,
"Oh, he's
smoking,
will,
motherfucker."
I promised I would never smoke in his garage again.
Well, it's
he doesn't like how he camps a lot, and he doesn't like all of his camping gear to smell like fucking cigarettes.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. It's a terrible habit. I should quit, but I've been doing terrible at it. So
let's change the vernacular. You don't need to quit. I stopped smoking over 3 years ago. I never quit smoking. That's finality. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know. I can't believe I haven't had a cigarette in the past few weeks. I don't know what's going to happen. So saying quit, like, I'm going to quit a job I know I'm probably never going to work at again, because I'm going to be like, yo, I'm just going to drop trout and shit in the fucking wherever I'm going to shit. Could be on a counter, could be on the boss's desk, but I know for a fact I'm never working there again. That's why I'm quitting. But I stopped smoking. You can stop smoking. If you change the vernacular, it also makes it easier to not do it anymore, because now you're not making it final. So now you're taking a bit of that pressure off of yourself. You're going, I've stopped smoking. You might take it up again. Who the fuck knows? But you might not.
It was really good. I mean, I've had 2 kids. I didn't smoke when I was pregnant. I mean, I would maybe, like, hit it here and there. I didn't smoke when I was pregnant with both my kids. But, I mean, here and there were some days where I'm like, I just, like, give me, like, 5 hits and I'll be fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, but I did really good. And, my problem, again, just becomes that it's habitual. It is a mental thing. I know that smoking, honestly, I've done it before where I've just been like, I'm going to stop smoking. And I just do. And then I quit for a few months. And one day I'm like, you know what sounds really good right now? A fucking cigarette.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
But it does. But I've done really good for over an hour now without having to have a cigarette because I wasn't too worked up. But
now, see what I just did too at the same time was because what does it matter to you? And by that, I ADD'd you into another subject matter because you were getting very emotional. Let me tell you something, folks. First of all, Miles is Judy Greer's sister. Kitty Crawford is here on my computer screen. Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in the new Halloween, right here. And she was getting very worked up, and I couldn't bear to see that. So all of a sudden, the cigarette thing happened. I saw my opening, and I went for it in a non-Louis C.K. kind of way.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
I do calm down every once in a while.
No, I get it. No, you get very... that's what I love about your show.
I'm passionate.
Actually, now I feel like an asshole because the one thing I love about your show, I just completely fucking interrupted. I totally 86'd it. Son of a bitch.
You did. You totally mansplained that one.
I did... Oh, man. No, I feel like
shit.
No, that's just
No,
deep.
but it's cool.
No, it's not. No, wow. That's insult. When people all right, I'm sorry. People mansplain. When fucking jerk off dudes mansplain, there's nothing worse than that.
There isn't. But no,
wow, I'm a jerk off dude.
Because here's the thing: is that everybody knows is that Miles. When I get worked up, I can talk for like an hour on my own pedestal. Even Crawford talks often about how the fact that like I just go on these fucking rants, and it's hard to get me down from the soapbox, calm down. This is the world that we live in, and it's me trying to say, I don't want everybody to change. Okay, I'm not going to say I've never. That's a lie. I would like the world to quit worrying about the shit that doesn't matter and start worrying about the shit that does. Shit that matters to me may not matter to you, and that's okay. But let's have an open dialogue, and I may get on my soapbox, and you may need to remind me that I need to step the fuck off of it to realize that there's other people who may not see my same point of view. And I think that that's my...
Your concern is not the people that don't see your same point of view, because that's on them. That's not on you. So if you can get on that soapbox for an hour and be as clear and concise as you always have been, then what the fuck does it matter? What does it matter? That's so don't worry about what other people think. If you feel that you're like repeating yourself after a while, then that's on you. But until you're doing that, you're totally fine. But I've got a great idea. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
You want to take a quick break?
Yeah, I know.
Cool.
That was a small break. So if anybody, I don't know how I'm going to edit this, but that was a small break for us. I needed to refill my cocktail. We had to hit re-record and just kind of woosah, collect, collaborate, come back to it. So we were just quickly talking, but WDIM, Sean over here, tell me, what does it matter? We were just talking about gay marriage.
You mentioned before you just found out about the Matthew Shepard thing because that's something you follow. And I had been following the gay marriage thing for the longest time because I would see people post shit on social media, which, by the way, is the downfall of our society. There's no other way to fucking put it. And people, I'm against this because the Bible said, well, what the fuck does the Bible fucking have to do with it? The Bible was written by people 50, 60, 70 years after the fucking fact. Sometimes it's that, story that's passed down. We can't even do that today as a fucking society. It's like, I'm going to tell you one thing and then you're going to tell somebody else the other thing. It's going to be one of those bullshit things. It's so, and the Bible, I'm sorry, it's not meant to say hate. All right, the Old Testament maybe. The Old Testament is very intolerable. But, you can't say Jesus doesn't approve of this. Jesus said love everybody. And now you're saying, whoa. He didn't exclude anybody. He didn't go, hey, love everybody. And of course, like, you know, I think of the Matthew Shepard thing. I think of the people that did that to him, and they definitely have those fucking voices. I know I apologize on my show all the time, because every time I talk about some stupid fucking cocksucker, they got one of them there down to home folk fucking voices. But they really fucking do when they fucking talk like that, those pieces of shit. So, like, Jesus didn't say, like, you know, love thy neighbor as they love thyself, unless one of them they're Jews or blacks or homosexuals. Like, never said it. Never fucking said it. There's nowhere in the fucking Bible does, like, Jesus go, hey, faggot. No, it doesn't fucking happen. Do you know why? Because Jesus said love everybody. So, there's my so again. Hey, take a drink, folks. These people that want to tell you how to live and tell you what to say or what not to say, or they get easily offended, what they really should do is mind their own fucking business. You know, if Matthew and Joe, you know, it's weird, like Matthew and Joe, that I go with that because I just pulled out two names, but that's actually a couple that I love dearly. Matthew was on the episode where we either did or did not use a toy on each other, and his boyfriend runs a great company. And so if they're sleeping together, what effect does that have on my life? What effect does that have on the income I'm making? What effect does that have on how much money my house is worth? What effect does that have on the fact that I'm still going to fucking die one day, and I'm either going to do it as a bitter human being because I worried too much about what other people did behind closed fucking doors, or I'm just going to die one day and I just loved everybody I possibly fucking could. You people that are easily offended, A, you're definitely not listening to the show, but if you are, fucking keep listening. Maybe open your fucking mind a bit. Stop judging people so fucking much. And at the end of the day, mind your own fucking business. Look out for you and yours. I'm talking to you too, social media.
Now, okay, so here's my question, because, you know, you said mind your own, and, you know, and to keep up with yours and those, but, like, here's the question is for you, is that when does taking care of your and your own become a problem for the rest of society?
If you're hurting other people. If you're robbing, if you're stealing, if you're killing. Now, when I say take care of you and your own, it doesn't mean that I'm not empathetic or sympathetic at times. If I see somebody's having a really fucking tough time, I'm not just going to turn my back on them. I'm the guy that, like, reaches into his wallet to find the single. And if I don't have a single, I've got a $5 bill, it's going to the fucking homeless guy that's sitting there. He's gonna get my dollar. He's gonna get my $5. He's gonna get if I have a 20, it's not gonna be a 20. When I was a smoker, it used to be the cigarettes. Like, hey, here's a few cigarettes, man. And they loved that. It's true. They love, yeah.
They love that. They do. No, I will agree. Being to Vegas many times, that majority of the time, the homeless people need three things: beer, cigarettes, and water. Well, yeah. Actually. Well, I mean, and food, too.
Well, the beer is money. The food. I mean, that's the whole thing. People go, you're just going to spend it on alcohol. No, they're going to spend it on beer because it's sustenance. It's not the healthiest of sustenance. It's a bit better than a bag of Doritos.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, I mentioned the, you know, taking care of, you know, our own, because I have, you know, there's a love-hate relationship that I have with that, because absolutely my family will always come first. I love everybody here, and I will do my best to. So many people who are like, hey, will you pitch down for this and will you pitch down for that? Now, absolutely, if I have $30, and then you need your kids trying to better themselves for whatever, you know, or, you know, this t-shirt helps provide sanctuary for a pet that you're never going to adopt because my husband won't let me adopt 1,000 animals. Absolutely. You know, even currently I'm actually wearing the sweater I actually promoted on Instagram the other day. It's called Made for More. I'm not gonna lie, this fucking, like, long-sleeved hoodie thing is the most comfortable shit I've ever worn. Been wearing it for 2 days now because it's so comfy. And their big thing is that they're a bit religious based, but they're actually more about community efforts, about building locally and taking that, you know, X amount of percentage of their profits into building up into community service. And at that point, if you're religious and you're putting money towards good things, I actually don't mind spending $30 on your stuff, because even though I'm not religious, you're still putting back money into your community, to your homeless, to your not so better off. And so the only problem I have when people say, you know, take care of you or theirs, and that there's no again, it's not a verbatim PC bullshit. It's I find it interesting that, especially when it comes down to the South. So I'm a huge fan of the well-read comedy. So if you haven't, and I think that you actually particularly would love to read, it's called The Liberal Redneck Manifesto, Dragging Dixie Out of the Dark. It's phenomenal. It's done by Trey Crowder, Corey Forrester, and Drew Morgan. They wrote this book, and it's 3 boys from 3 different parts of the South. They've all been friends, though, for years. And it's all about how they're kind of like the unicorns, because how many liberal rednecks do you really meet? And Trey Crowder is, he got his start. He had been in comedy for a while, but he started he's like, I found out that if you take off your shirt and you go on YouTube, boom, you're going to become like a big thing. And that's literally what he did. He took off his shirt and he went to his backyard and was drinking some moonshine and talking about how much he loved Obama. And, it just blew the fuck up, right? But it's funny because when you read their book, though, you really get their heritage, their family, the family ties. I read a book called The Hillbilly.
Sorry.
Yeah. And I read a book prior to that one, which was called The Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance. And he actually grew up in the southern belt of like Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia area, opiate epidemic, fucking poor life, drugs, the whole fucking works. And then obviously, gained better value, went up to like Harvard jail and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of that is that mentality of like, take care of yours, which is amazing because that's all you have to go off of in all cases. Like, in my opinion, absolutely. I grew from a very, very, very poor family. And I know that my parents sometimes look at me and say, I can't remember you remember being poor. Because I was so young into when my parents started to get good jobs, I was just kind of born into the fact that my dad, when I was born that year, my dad got hired by a really good company. And from that point on, we just kind of started to move up in in that aspect. But prior to then, it was not a nice scene. And, and my brother, would definitely, him being the oldest, remembers all the stories of the moving and who we lived with and how we kind of like make ends meet. And I was telling my parents, like, I don't have to necessarily been born, but I remember because of the stories. And I remember about what our family stood for. I have a very racist grandmother. God bless her soul, Connie. Love you. But she was super racist and I hated everybody. That was not a white Catholic, and then you got people who out there, and unfortunately has taken the aspect of take care of you and your own as a reason for why we shouldn't ever take care of the Hispanics, never take care of the immigrants, never take care of the LGBTQ. And that's why I'm like, dude, I know that there's such, like you said, there's that dialogue. People are fucking too PC, right? I have that problem. Way too PC. And I have a hard time where I'm like, fuck, did like what I say like offend somebody? And
it's on them.
But my own is on them. And I think my personal Twitter says my logo banner says, if I've offended anybody, then I've done something right.
Absolutely. I quote Ricky Gervais constantly when I quote his quote of just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. That's my favorite quote ever.
And I agree. And I think that there is such a... And I've been trying to define that line. I've got 2 kids who are really being born into this political conundrum. Okay, so you're right. Like, what the fuck does it matter? Why does it fucking matter?
Sometimes it does, and you've heard recent episodes where like,
I've heard lots of. I love all your podcasts, and they're so right.
But the point is that every now and then, like a guest will say something and be like, oh, you know what, this mattered. Like when Eric from Creek of the Week was on the one episode, and he's like, it's not just like the dick and fart jokes or like how much you say cunt, but it's also like you just get really real and really honest, and that's my favorite moments of your show. It's like, you know what. That's what mattered.
The
last one.
And that's exactly what it is. It's all about dialect.
Right.
It's all about how we perceive each other. Now, me and you are
symbiotic.
We can
We're totally symbiotic.
yeah. And we can disagree. And even if we disagreed, I think that we could do it on a very civil manner. Even in heated moments where, like I said, I'll get on my soapbox and I'll get on some shit. And trust me, like, drunk Facebook Miles is a whole nother ballgame that I have fought with, like, some stupid shit. And then I look back and seriously, like handful of like sober hours later, I like reread my comments that anxiety moment. You're like, what did I post last night? Oh my God.
But here's the thing. When you do that, you're still being honest. You're still being honest to yourself because you've been harboring those thoughts anyway. And that's the moment that you didn't have the balls to do that. And, you know what? The phrase doesn't offend me, have the balls to do it. I love it when Judi Dench says, I've got the balls. But like a woman doesn't have the balls to do it. A woman has something stronger than a man's balls.
Our vagina is amazing.
I concur. I wholeheartedly concur. But that's not what I meant. But what I was saying about that is like just these are the things that you're finally fucking getting out. That it needs to be fucking said. Maybe how you said it isn't the most diplomatic way in that condition, but you're still addressing something that needs to be addressed. Trust me. Hello, I'm drinking my 8.7% beers here as well.
Oh, I'm drinking my Jim Beam and Coke. Oh no, tonight's Evan Williams. Sorry, Evan Williams.
Hey, you know what? It's not what does it matter, so you don't have to bleep it out either. So that's good.
Hey, Evan Williams was on sale for $13 for a good sized bottle. So I was like, sold.
How is it,
Got it
compared to the gym?
Oh, so Evan Williams. It's funnier because Evan Williams will give me a worse hangover tomorrow morning. But I get drunk faster, even though it contains the same alcohol.
Oh, it's the sugar. That's why you're getting that hangover. So that's
but I'm like I am an avid I'm an avid sober drunk is what I call it. Before I go to bed, I make sure that to not only obviously brush my teeth, but I make sure that I have at least one, if not two bottles of water. I usually eat a banana or some bread before I go to bed. That way tomorrow morning, all I hopefully have to do is take some aspirin, drink some coffee, have some orange juice, and then eggs and toast, and I should be rocking and rolling. Evan Williams, tomorrow morning, I'm going to probably end up sleeping way too late. Probably need about 3 or 4 pieces of toast and not be able to drink coffee because the acid reflux will absorb my life. But
what I meant was, how does it taste?
Oh.
I did set you up for that.
History.
No, I totally upset.
Drunk history mile. No, it tastes wonderful. It's been going down very smooth all night. I can't complain. There's no harsh or bitterness to it. I like just Evan Williams is one that me and my parents, in our later whiskey years, we went through several phases of our relationship, but Evan Williams is a solid, whiskey friend of, especially me and my father, that it goes down, it's smooth. I like it. Good job, Evan Williams. And I visited their
distillery.
I visited their distillery a handful, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. And got to try a bunch of other of their different brands, and they're all rock solid. And it was in Louisville, and I'm like, let's get drunk if we're going to be in Louisville.
Well, isn't that a prerequisite once you cross the
Ohio border? Yeah, you have to get drunk. You pretty much, as soon as you cross Ohio, you're like, this is where, and it really is. It's, we wanted to go on the full distillery, whatever conundrum, until I realized how many miles apart. Yeah. But seriously, from one distillery to another, at some point is a 70-mile difference. And could you, pay for a taxi or a bus to go from one? That's a lot of money you're putting down. And 2, I mean, you would have to be on a 48-hour binger in order to hit up all the distilleries in Kentucky
and not get pulled over
weekend, and not get pulled over. So you have to find an Uber or a bus driver or somebody that you're going to pay an ass ton of money to go to. So we just went to Louisville,
an ass ton,
got wasted. And then we went to the Evan Williams, and we went to the distillery right there, and down in Louisville, They have shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
There's a
tons
bar
of shit.
there that is in one of the, was it Godfathers? I think it was in either Goodfellas or Godfathers, but there's a bar there that they haven't changed at all since the 60s. The velvet furniture, the wallpaper, everything, hands down, outside of the whiskey, like, variances, have not changed since the movie has taken place there. So it's awesome because you walk in and you literally walk downstairs to that old style, like a jazz bar, you know, where it's dark lighting, velvet furniture, like you just candles.
It's an old
it's
speakeasy.
It's so great. Yes.
Oh, there's one in San Antonio. It's part of the Sheridan Gunther. It's bar 414. Oh my God, I love that place. I want to play there, but I don't do jazz. But wow, like those old speakeasies and like if you check in we stayed at the hotel last time we went to San Antonio, and when you check in, like the entrance to the bar is right there because you know it's a hotel bar. But if you're on the street, there's actually a secret fucking door. And when you find a speakeasy like that, it's just like, hi, I know I'm staying here, but for some reason I'm outside and I have to come in and look at you and say, hello, bar. What are you going to serve me tonight? Well, that sounds delicious. I think I'll have 12 or 20.
And that is actually so in the case of the Mega Millions being one in South Carolina, and I definitely played into that. I play the lottery just to play the lottery. I think that it's fun. I don't play it exactly every week. I definitely play it every week while it still goes up. But I definitely love playing.
Well, once it goes down, it's done.
Honestly though, I really feel that like I could still win that like quick like 4 million jackpot if I still continue to play the numbers. So that's been my thing for the last like 3 months since I've been playing on the Mega Millions. I've been playing the same numbers every single time just because it will be the one time that I don't play those numbers that they get fucking called, right? So, but my goal is that someday
that's why
I have
every failing band that I stay in, I know if I leave that band, they're going to get fucking popular. So I just stay in it so it keeps failing. Now go on.
Exactly. Exactly. And my ultimate goal is that if I ever actually had the money, the credentials, the credit score, whatever, is that my ultimate goal is to one day in this very small town that I live in, it's about 40,000 people. But I still have the ultimate goal is that you walk in and you have a coffee shop bookstore, and then you walk upstairs and you have the retaining bookstore vinyl record store with like tables to do your art on. And then I would take everybody's art and poetry and turn it into a local magazine. And then you go outside, walk downstairs to the basement, and that is where your speakeasy is. With the old school black and red leather furniture, you know, only a hand-selected amount of, like, vodka, whiskey. You know, you only have this X amount. You don't have the full line. Draft beer is a no, because fuck draft beer. It's all in bottles, cans, you know, whiskeys, vodkas. And then, you know, each night we would do different little things between jazz musicians, regular acoustic.
Slam poetry.
You know, Slam poetry. God, slam poetry.
My favorite thing about slam poetry is that like that drum, bass, and piano music that backs it up sometimes. Yes. My fucking God.
Have you ever listened to Saul Williams?
I have not. I know Paul Williams, but
okay.
that's a world of difference. I'm sure Saul Williams is normal people height.
And Saul Williams, so I got into slam poetry because of Saul Williams. So I was going to Kent State University. For those of you who don't know who Kent State University is, you've never obviously listened to Ohio by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. But that is where the 4 college students were killed by the National Guard. And so there's a lot of history there. So when you talk about
that scene in the beginning of Watchmen, have you?
Yeah.
Man, when she puts the flower in, I'm like, fuck, they're going to actually show me this?
Yeah.
Perfect song,
and
though.
So,
yeah. Go on. I'm sorry. To...
So good. No, don't be sorry. So Kent State is, it was a great mecca for me to be a part of. The college isn't crazy huge, but it's big enough. I know that one girl got a bunch of publicity because she her graduation from Kent State was wearing her fucking big O fucking AR-15. that has nothing to do with what the college was.
But at least when I was. So here's where we can like go to something where like I'm with you, but at the same time, that's her choice. And I believe that as an American, even though we disagree with it, and this is where I go to the taking care of her own thing. Her choice. That's her choice, and that's also her right. I don't think all it did was show her ignorance, and I'm like, so everybody got angry about this. Like, you know what we did in the 80s before the age of social media? That a picture like that, something like that, would have made the headlines of the Inquirer or like like one of those fucking tabloid bullshit newspapers. But it seems that social media has become that. So yes, as much as it annoys you and it annoys me that she takes her picture for her graduation with an AR-15, we're the ones giving that power. And so that's where it goes to that whole like taking it back thing and taking care of my own thing. And just because you don't like it, and like you and I, we don't like things, and like, of course we're gonna judge. It's human nature to say I don't like that. I don't like that about that person. I'm gonna judge them. But at the same time, we're smart enough. We have the IQ enough to just say, well, fine, but that's her fucking right. As much as I was for the fucking gay vote, gay marriage.
Gay marriage.
I mean, like that whole thing with women's suffrage. Like I say, end the suffrage. It's been going on too fucking long. I'm just kidding. I meant suffering. So the gay marriage, but so this girl with her AR-15, if that's what she wants in her graduation, fine. I support that decision 100%. I don't agree with it. I don't mean to sound like Nugent either, but I
agree with you. And that was one of those things where everybody says, "Why are you not more angry?" And I said, I'm angry about it. I think she's a fucking dumbass. Like, I only think that she's a dumbass not because of that picture, but because you're taking it at Kent State. We are taking it where every May 4th, we are out at noon every day, so we can go down to the field where the kids were shot.
Do you hum the Star Wars theme? Not because of the kids that were shot, because that's fucked up, but like... That's where I saw my chance to interject without being rude. But so every May 4th,
we go. Every May 4th, they have what they call the May. It's a whole day. Like, you go to classes from 8 to 12. If you don't have classes past 12, you don't go to classes that day. And we meet up on the grass knoll in which the kids were shot. And then the classes that you do have, you have people who were affected, those who were shot but not killed, who come in and talk to you about what they saw, what they went through. Right. It's a whole lot of digestion, right?
Yeah, that's...
But, it's intense. And at the same time, the documentaries on May 4th start on the local, Kent State channel. Now, again, I haven't been to college for about 15 years, so maybe Kent has changed this. I don't know. But this is how it was when I went there. And... so then it's kind of like the History Channel, who does the 9/11 documentaries. They do the same thing on May 4th. And so if you're not there to do that, but they also lightened up. I mean, yes, there's free concerts, there's free food, there's a whole thing that goes along with it as well to, not only just make the kids realize, but it's almost kind of like celebrating and enjoying a really fucked up fact. But
that's what you're supposed to do, though. You got to keep in mind, when somebody you love so much dies.
Like, how long do you?
Right, but you have a wake immediately after, and at the wake, you have the dinner in between. You get like an afternoon wake and an evening wake, if you can do that, or you have a repast after the funeral, and everybody there is like having food, drinking, and being merry, and just being together. And there's that sense of togetherness where, like, fine, we're here because of an awful situation, but we're here together. So let's enjoy that time that we all have together.
I'm going to interject with a small, really cute story because you made a very valid point. So I remember, so it had to be my oldest son. He's 11 now, so it was the end of his second grade year. And I go to his school to pick him up last day of school. We're all excited. Yay! And the librarian stopped me and they're like, hey, you're, Miles's mom. And I was like, oh, shit. Here's the time for the teacher to tell me, like, whatever my kid fucking did wrong, right? Yes, what's up? She goes, I wanted to let you know a great story that happened this year. She goes, not a great story, but a good, bad story. I said, okay. She goes, I lost my mother this year. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. She goes, here's the great thing. I leave and I take a 2-week bereavement and I come back. And your son, everybody is shaking my hand. They're hugging me. How are you? Are you okay? She goes, and your son, when everybody's up there just feeling sorry for me, your son comes up to me and says, how was the food? Did you have a good time?
Awesome.
Did you get to see family members? Like, was it nice for you to, like, talk to people? Who did you see there? Like, and was more about, because that prior year, so that was second grade. At the very beginning of his second grade, we had lost his great-grandparent. And he remembered most, like you said, that moment where we're eating food and we meet up and we're talking and we're laughing and we're having a good time, through the sadness. And she goes, it was so wonderful because everybody is feeling so sorry for me and they want to make sure that I'm okay. But your son wanted to make sure, when I sit back and I think about it, he's right. I did. I had good food and I saw people who I hadn't seen in a while, and I did actually have a good time at a funeral, which everybody remembers the sad parts about it. She's like, but your son really remembered the good parts, and that's something that he's still like that.
That's
we
awesome.
had, yeah, it is. Like 2 years ago, we had lost my best friend's mom and then one of my good friend's husbands, and at the same point, like when this is all really difficult, he was the one that was like, I know you're sad, but we're playing, everybody seems to be okay. We're having a good time. Like everybody's laughing, like understanding not like the depth of the sadness, but like, what really matters? Right now you're seeing people who you don't see. Right now you're having food you wouldn't ever have today. Here are the things, you're listening to music. You're having this moment.
You're celebrating, you're celebrating life. You're not mourning a loss. You're celebrating
and
that
that's
life.
what matters.
And you're celebrating life with people that, like, of course you're feeling better because you're seeing people that you love, that you live in different states, or you just have different schedules. You have whatever the reason is that you don't see each other fucking constantly. Maybe you just grew apart as a group. Like, these things happen. It's called fucking living. That when you're all brought together like this, it's a celebration of their life for bringing you together at this awful moment. But this is a beautiful moment because you're all together. I've never seen The Big Chill, but I'm like, from what I understand about that movie, it's like that's kind
of what it's all about. And I think that's one of those things that, like, when you say, what does it matter? It's funny because there's so much of this shit that just doesn't matter, because when you actually sit down, and I could meet this girl that had the AR-15, and me and her we'll never maybe see eye to eye. And I think we actually started this on Sam Poetry, but, when it comes down to it, you have to find that what doesn't matter is you find a common denominator of all of this.
But think about this.
And when I mentioned, like,
I'm sorry. No, go on. No,
go ahead.
My thing is that now everybody knows what this girl with the AR-15 in her photo looks like. But what if let's go to this like really obscure universe, because I've been there. You never think that two people could ever get along so well with so many fucking differences. What if you met this girl, not knowing who she is, and then you have the most amazing conversation? You're like, hey, like, let's go, like, grab dinner or something, or go to the bar, get some beers, and you're just like, you end up best friends, and then you find out, like, months later, holy shit, you're the girl with the AR-15. Like, everybody makes a first impression, and that, I think the old adage of you only get one chance to make a first impression is done because of social media.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that there's a friend of mine. He's very into politics. I'm not. So we have a lot of differences. When we had first met, it was under really weird situations where a situation occurred where I was just the devil. Years went by, and I knew him through a friend, so we never really knew each other. So he's running this open mic at this place. My friend's like, oh, you should come down. So I go down, and the other guy and I get along great. We get along great, and I'm there every week. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to help you guys. Yeah, sure. Like, it wasn't about me. I don't like open mics. I don't like. It's not that I don't like karaoke. It's like I'm too. Actually, I'm too nervous to do karaoke, and you'd think that would be weird, but it's true. So my buddy tells me one day, he's like, oh, by the way, this is that guy from that situation. So I'm at the bar sitting with that guy having a drink, and I'm like, hey, man. And I bring up the situation, and he's like, yeah, yeah, that fucking guy. That guy was an ass. Was that guy you? I'm like, yeah, that was me. He's like, well, what the fuck happened? I'm like, so I explained what had happened that evening to him. He's like, no, how did you and I become friends? And it's just one of those weird things that they happen. My ex-girlfriend from the 90s, we had the most toxic relationship. Jealousy, I guess, exists for teenagers in television. It's the way I look at it. Drama, too. It's for teenagers in television. And we were teenagers. And our relationship was ugly. It was toxic. We're friends. She is my best friend on the planet. She introduced me to my wife. She was the maid of honor at my wedding. By my wife's choice, not mine. Like, she's just one of the most amazing people. We went to see Tesla the other night, and we're outside, and we're talking just about people from the past, and we're like, and we didn't mean to get all Kavanaugh about it, but somehow it happened. But we were like, you know what? Not taking sides here, but who we were when we dated is not even close to who we are now. And it's those weird situations where you just find... If you asked me 20 years ago if this girl would be my best friend, no fucking way. No, she broke my heart, and I am not claiming angel status either. We were both fucking awful to each other. We cheated on each other constantly. We were just awful fucking people. But we were also kids, and we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And then just one day we grew up. So this girl with the AR-15 is getting all this shit. Think about the Jedi kid, the Star Wars kid. He's probably got tons of friends now. Probably under false pretenses because they want to be like, I'm friends with the Star Wars kid. But he's got friends now.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge part of it. And, like, I think in the 180 of it all is that when we talk about, like, slam poetry, and I had mentioned Saul Williams, that, that's how I had found him. It was through that college. And now, again, though, when you talk about how different we all are, like, when I went to college there is... Oh, God, I can't wait to find it. There's a photo of us. There's a group... Oh, man, it had to be about 15, 20 deep. And I'm talking about... It went from the emos, the actors, the fucking, like, punk rock kids who had fucking, like, piercings everywhere and fucking mohawks to just, like, the average... Like, where I was like, I'm not even sure where I fit in with this group, but we all get along. And it was... great because all of us had conversations about classes that each one of us excelled in. So this punk rock kid, Pineapple, and he got that because he had so many piercings in his face, he literally looked like a pineapple. Scariest, he was a Samoan, so he was just a big guy with like 30, 40 piercings in his face, fucking mohawk, punk rock, scared the divvy, like just, like first impression, scary as fuck. Here's the great thing. Fucking science, that guy got it.
Probably the sweetest person on the planet, too.
Yeah, sweetest, kindest, wonderful human being. And like, I dated a guy who looked like fucking Milhouse, and he was fucking, like, seriously, he was the legit, like, white version of fucking Milhouse.
Well, the white version of Milhouse is the kid from the Wonder Years, the best friend.
Yeah, dude, I'm not kidding you. Black hair, the fucking glasses, everything. I mean, it was dead spot on. And we didn't have a whole lot in common. I mean, he came from a really well-off family. He was, like, super well-educated, blah, blah, blah. And, and I was just kind of like, I don't even know. I'm friends with everybody. I'm friends with the fucking hippies. I'm doing drum circles on fucking Wednesdays. I'm going to the punk rock concert on fucking Thursdays. I'm getting my coffee at Starbucks on Fridays. And on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm walking in the bars and trying to figure out what hoochie mama I tend to be that day. Because that's the right of who I was. And that is the same right that I feel like I need to give everybody else. And you're right. I'm a judgmental bastard. I fucking judge people.
I have never called you this. I have never. Don't tell me that I'm right and then call yourself something I've never called you.
But when you're talking about like how
it's human nature.
We instantly make judgments. Yeah. We instantly make judgments without knowing it. Like we assume that people. I assume. Maybe I'm an assumption.
Well,
bastard.
assumption is the mother of all fuck ups.
It really is. And I assumed a lot of things, and I am glad that I was very much proven wrong over the years. I'm glad that when I had somebody, during that hippie stage that introduced me to somebody like Saul Williams, he's definitely done several crazy projects. He even did one with 9 Inch Nails, and that was just a phenomenal, crazy album. Niggy Tardust is what that was called. And,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's called Niggy Tar Dust.
Okay, I didn't hear you. There was a latency. That's the only reason I asked.
Yeah, but it was. And so Saul Williams, the slam poetry fucking grandmaster, like shit, met up with Trevor from Nine Inch Nails. Trent, there you go. Thank you. I'm like, No.
Trevor will always be, except for Trevor Rabin, the guitar player from Yes that scores movies that we spoke about earlier. Trevor is usually that fucking douchebag with like the haircut from the guy that was on Married with Children from the Revenge of the Nerds movies, Ted.
Yes.
But he wears like the sweater, but like he's got to have a sweater tied around it for some fucking reason.
Yes,
Who are these assholes and why do they exist? Because they've got money. They're not. They've got to be fucking sweating their asses off. I've got money, but I'm wearing 2 sweaters right now. See, those are the people I freely judge, and I say everybody should freely judge them because they have no concept of what actually living is. They just know how to live. Because they've got the means to. They don't know what it's like to actually like feel the reward of actually earning something. And I'm at this. I know I can't afford it, but
Trent Reznor. That's his name.
Trent Reznor.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Still
Sorry, it took me like a minute for it all to collaborate.
Of your tears.
Yeah, so Trent Reznor and the slam poet Saul Williams, 2 completely polar opposites, got together for an album. And it's fucking intense. But prior to that album, he had Amethyst Rockstar, and his shit like doesn't make sense. It took me a 20 dozen fucking listens before I was like, got
Now,
it.
please do that math.
Yeah,
no, 20
I know.
dozen. That's I want.
20 times 12, so you've got.
Well, take the 0 out. Yeah.
Take the 0 out, you put the 4 down, and then you put another 0 into place, and you put another 0 into place, and you put a 2, and about like 240 listens.
There was a thing that happened in around, you said the year you were born, so I'm just going to say around
83.
Okay, so fine. So you were 9. A movie had come out called Judgment Night, and it's not the first time this has ever happened, but it was the first time on this scale that it happened. You mentioned Dennis Leary, too. He was in this movie. Yeah. Did you know the movie I speak of? Judgment
I
Night?
don't. I've heard of it, but I have not watched it.
It's not a sequel to Judgment Day. That's still T2. But it was... it doesn't matter who was in the movie. What they did, though, was they paired up the hot rap acts and hip-hop acts of the time with the hot alternative and metal bands of the time. So you have Ice-T with Slayer. By the way, you mentioned SUV earlier. But I love Ice-T as a rapper from the 80s. Like, that's... I love OG original
Authentic
gangster.
Authentic as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it became... What rap started out as, it became just a moneymaker that there was nothing to speak about anymore. Because, like, it used to be about not having money or women. And now it's just like, yo, I got my bitches and my babes and my dollars and my shit. But so this album was like, it would be Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill, which, by the way, I love me some Cypress Hill, and I do love me some Pearl Jam.
So fucking good. So, it's kind of like the new, what is that? Cypress Hill got together with Rage Against the Machine.
I know.
Rage.
I know. No. Oh, I don't. Something.
Fuck, I can't.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry,
no,
I'm
it's
didn't
cool.
interrupt.
Cool.
I'm
no,
sorry.
It's totally cool. I just don't remember the name.
Talking out loud, but Rage Against the Machine and Cypress Hill got together, and they're the rage of something, and they're amazing. Go on.
I need to hear that. That just when you said that, it just blew my mind. That's why I went like, ah.
You haven't heard their new? You haven't heard it?
I'm so off the grid.
Ezra's not a part. He's not the lead singer. In that, he gave Granted though to everybody else.
Wait, Zach De La Roche is not. Yeah, it's
sorry, I always call him. Okay, I know his name is not Ezra, but to me, the kid with the E, that's how I actually got to know about Rage Against the Machine because I was obsessed with their T-shirts before I listened to their music. It's the kind of 90s kid I was. I'm really sorry about that. Zach, I appreciate you, but that's how I actually always remembered Zach, is that he's not Zach, he's Ezra from the big, you remember the kid on the very first big album in the 90s, and it was a white kid? And
that's their second album. That's from, I did not like that album, actually. It had a Rally Around the Temple. A Rally Around with a pop.
But that's when I very first saw
Evil
them, and
Empire.
I actually did not know Zach De La Rosa's real name for about 5 years. To me, he was always Ezra, the E, that was a part of that the T-shirt logo brand with the white kid with the cape with the big E on his T-shirt.
The first time I ever heard them, I was given a 45, and I had it like because records still existed back then. But there was something wrong with my record player that 33 RPM, no problem. But if you put a 45 on, it was just a cunt hair slow. So,
oh god!
But I loved it. The first song I heard was "Bullet in the Head," but it was like, but it sounded like everything that I love about slam poetry. Picture that song just like at 3/4 speed, like boom, 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 boom. This time the bullet cold rocked ya. A yellow ribbon instead of a swastika. Ain't nothing proper about your propaganda. And I was just like, my God, they're on to something new. When I finally heard the song at regular speed, because my buddy was like, dude, this does not sound right. I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome. And then he like had the CD, and so he put it on. I was like, whoa, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh my God, this could have been in Boys in the Hood. He's like, they're Puerto Rican. I'm like, all right, so it can't be. And because it was the same era. And I got to tell you, that first Rage Against the Machine album is the tits, or the shit, whatever you're into. I mean, it is the
both of them at the same time, simultaneously.
I mean, well, that's actually got a name. The poop
so
that had to
rap and alternative rock
or heavy metal,
right?
Before
I interrupted
Ice-T
you,
and Slayer,
were between like yes,
and it was this. All right, you mentioned MTV earlier. MTV at one point. And I'm going to go 1989 to 1992. There was no, I mean, yes, there was Yo MTV Raps because, yes, represent, brother. But there was, or sister, I'm sorry. But there was also, like, just, you would get Forever Your Girl from Paula Abdul, and then Sweet Child of Mine, and then Phantom Rider from, fuck, I can't remember the name of the band. Whoa, Phantom Rider. You were like 10. No, you weren't even 10. You were like 6. Tora Tora.
I didn't have cable until I was 12.
Like, I mean, you had Headbangers Ball, you had Yo MTV Raps, but like during the day, they showed music, but it was a variety of everything. Whatever was popular, obviously got played once an hour. Like, you know, stop.
Absolutely.
Corroborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock the mic like a vandal. Light up the stage and wax a jump like a candle. Dance to a stupid old melody. Anything less than a best is a felony. Love it, believe it, and that's where I lose it because I don't know the rest.
That was...
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Thank you. But it was just this big conglomeration of everything. So for me to like see like black metal, dark metal, rap, and like everything just being so segregated again, it's because I think reality TV and social media fucked things up so much. First of all, reality TV is scripted or coaxed. It's either scripted and at the worst it's coaxed.
And MTV is the one that fucked that up.
Well, the Real World, but Puck
first...
was fucking awesome. But it was still the Real World, and it wasn't real. And people just bought into this shit. And then we got Survivor, and this one is for the survivors and my camel toe. And so, like it just kept going and going and going, where people just believed everything. Nobody stopped and thought for a second. Where we are individuals, we have our own independent way of thinking, and there's no way that two people on the planet think exactly alike. It's just completely impossible. So where we are divided now is because it's just impossible for everybody to keep up. I don't disagree with Republicans. I don't disagree with Democrats. I disagree with the parties. In the 50s, Under God was added to the Pledge of Allegiance because of the communism thing. And then the McCarthyism, like, so one nation under God, because, you know, communism, there was no God. So we have to have God in here. So let's add something. But now, one nation indivisible. But we've got the parties that are just fighting each other so fucking much that maybe we should remove that word now. Maybe we should.
Well,
I'm glad to be on this show.
I would never... that it wasn't until 1956 before we put one nation under God into our
right. That's what I was saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's.
Sorry, my mic was fucking up, so I had to like stop for a hot second, and then I had to restart. So that is that I'm like, we were talking, and I want to make sure that I put.
You'll have my rant, and then you'll say what I said.
Yeah,
and then we'll be good. Then we'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think it's one of those things that we often. Are you getting an echo on your side?
No, are you?
Okay. Well, I was for a minute, but I wanted to make sure that you weren't getting it on yours and that we'd be okay. But I think it's one of those things that a lot of people definitely tend to forget is that, we didn't always have one nation under God.
It was one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we added one nation under God because of the communist
it was
Cold
McCarthyism.
War.
Yeah,
McCarthyism, exactly. And I think that when you talk about even like MTV and the scripted reality television, so for those of you guys who ever watched The Real World, and I'm talking about the real world.
Yo, go Puck.
Oh my god, right? So there was Puck and Pedro. So that was Real World season 3.
Yeah.
So, and I remember this, I have a very deep, like, fondness because, again, I didn't have cable for a lot of years growing up. So when I got cable, I fucking held on that shit like hell onto it. So Real World 1, we had, Eric, who was a part of those early 90s, like, pump the jam.
Pump it up while your feet are stomping.
Yeah. And he was one of the fucking, like, sexy, like, fucking 12-pack dancers in the back. He was fucking hot. And then you had Becky, who was the white girl from fucking the South. You really know
everybody from the first season?
No, but I remember Eric and Becky, and then they got into a fight with, and this is a bad part. So, again, this is what I would like to call a white wall. So Eric and Becky get into a fight with one of Eric's roommate. He was black. I want to say his name was Adrian, and I could be completely fucking wrong in this. But I want to say his name was Adrian. So Becky and Adrian get into it because she says something very fucking racially way out of her fucking, spectrum, right? And he's trying to call her out on her shit. Like, dude, you have got, and back then, even then, he's talking about, maybe it was Andre, but he's talking about her, like, white privilege, right? And this is a very, like, unscripted, this shit was, like, in tabloids. Like, that's how reality television started, was because of Becky and this guy's fucking fight over race. Because she's from the South and she doesn't think that what she said was wrong, but he's like, dude, you don't know me. Through my history.
You don't know me.
Yeah, but through my history, what you're saying is like, how the fuck are you not being racist right now? And then Eric gets involved. It's this whole fucking thing, and that is how in my opinion, is how the ratings obviously went right through the fucking roof. Here's these two people on television fighting about race. In New York City, on the sidewalk, on a fucking dark and fucking, like, winter night. I mean, just fucking total batshit crazy fighting. And they're like, hot damn. That's exactly when Jerry Springer changed. And it's almost... Because Jerry Springer is from fucking Cleveland, Ohio. And Jerry Springer used to, by the way, Jerry Springer never did any of the shit that he was... If you watch old school Jerry Springer was the very first daytime television, or I think it was actually afternoon television. He brought the Ku Klux Klan on.
We had Morton Downey Jr. before Jerry Springer.
That could be true. Yeah, you're probably very right.
I'm a little older.
You're a little older. No, you're very right. And again, I don't know it, but for me, my big thing was Jerry Springer brought in the Ku Klux Klan with like a bunch of these African American from the suburban. I think they actually were from Cleveland on the same set together. And dude, was it fucking a shit show for like a solid half an hour of the hour? Absolutely. But the last part of that half an hour, you start to kind of see not an acceptance of either side, but a understanding mutual.
Yes.
And then Real World, was there as well, and they had their race divide. And then in season 3, we had Pedro and Puck. So Pedro, for those of you who have never watched The Real World season 3, Pedro was a gay man who was dying of AIDS. And Puck was like your rebellious skater boy,
jerk off.
And he was very unsympathetic. He was the one that caused a lot of chaos in the house. He was the instigator. Now, Puck may have not actually been an instigator in real life, but how the show portrayed him was that. And
it was definitely coaxing.
It was definitely coaxing. And over the years, by season 5, the real world had definitely become just one big, we're going to put this girl on with a fucking raging alcoholic problem. And then everybody would talk about how, like, MTV would, like, feed her shots while she was trying to get sober.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what happened with reality television. That's why, I distrusted reality TV, especially after season 5 of The Real World.
Well, let's look at it this way. A bunch of people from Staten Island are not from the Jersey Shore. Let me just put that way. They're not from New Jersey. Right. Do they act like New Jersey people down at the shore? Of course, absolutely. But they're not from New Jersey. And here's why these shows are so popular. We don't want to watch the sympathetic thing. We want to watch the fucking train wreck. We want to see it all go down in fucking flames. You think about CNN, and, like, I'm not making jokes, I'm not making light because I live so close. CNN, any news channel, the highest ratings ever were on 9/11 because people wanted to watch what was going on. Some of them for the shit show. Some of them because they didn't know what else to do. Some of them because, well, maybe I'll get a phone number where I can help. But it was a fucking shit show here. And
I can't imagine. Will you kind of elaborate on that? Because being from somebody in Ohio who watched the TV for 3 days in a row and didn't turn off the news for 3 days following 9/11, how was that? Because you live... You're so close.
I drank so much of it away, to be honest with you. I saw humanity rise to its highest peak, where you would bump into somebody in a bar, and it would be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" It would be like, "Hey, man, you okay? You all right? Let's get in." Like, it was usually like the big Guido, like, who would fuck with the long haired dude. Be like, "Let's go do a drink." Sure, let's go have a drink, man. And, like, we were never friends. It was just like, "Oh, cool. Sorry I bumped into you, man. Let me buy you a drink." And that would be it, where it would have been a fight a week before. And just everybody looked out for everybody. If I ever see this again in my lifetime, it's because I know the fucking world is ending. But we, as a society in this area, just surpassed everything. We just said, hey, we just all went through this. Some of us a lot worse than others, but we all went through it. We were all here. And we didn't know what to do. Steve Buscemi, actor.
Bestill my heart. Like, bestill my heart that it took, 10 years?
He was FDNY, and he was there immediately with everybody else.
And no one knew for years, by the way.
Yeah, I know. He finally came out and said something,
No one knew for years.
You find out about these people that do all these things, and then you find out, like, this guy, Q from, I don't know if you watch Impractical Jokers, I'm sure he was there too. He was FDNY and had to take a break just to see if the show would take off. But anytime anything happened, it's not about just 9/11. I got to look at the FDNY in general. I got to single them out. I love the police departments in my area. I'm friends with a lot of cops. Everybody jumped at the moment. Everybody wanted to know. Everybody wanted to help. Actually, everybody wanted help immediately, and that was the thing. And it was just a really fucked up day and a half where I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, the roads were the clearest they had ever fucking been. And I was driving around just collecting food and dropping it off at other places. And my friend Robin, who I mentioned before, who was her daughter, she was so young that she didn't know what was going on. She's like, I can sing a song for you. And, like, that's the brightest moment of my day, is this, like, 3-year-old girl singing, Oops, I Did It Again, because she doesn't understand what's going on. And then, like, the week and a half to 2.5 weeks after, everybody was good to each other. And then I knew it was too good to last forever. It was definitely too good to be true.
It was a moment that, like,
as awful as it was, I got this moment in this area that just, I'll never see it again. But people looked out for everyone. So when we talked about looking out for your own earlier, I really mean it in that broad sense of just be good to each other. Just, like, it doesn't need to be my wife. If the neighbor across the street wants to fuck her dog. Cool. Go for it. It doesn't affect me. Nor should it affect her if I'm watching out the window jerking off. Because we're all looking out for each other. I have to make light of it because I was there and like I knew it was going to disappear, so I relished every fucking second of how good we all were to each other for those days after 9/11. Like 9/12 to 9 whatever. It didn't last that long, and I wish it lasted forever because we could have learned something from that. Just to put aside our differences, especially now, today. Thank you so much for having me on your show because I could never get this real on my show, and. Jesus Christ, you asked the question.
I'm sorry, like it's from somebody when it happened, so when 9/11 happened to me, in my perspective, I walked into college. So I was at a community college and all my friends were gathered in and I just thought like it was some stupid like rally, like woo, and I was like, what's up? And everybody like dead eyes me, shut up. And I'm like, Oh,
yeah.
Because I didn't know. I wasn't watching the news for I did not. I really woke up, went to college. That was my morning. And then I walk in, I'm like, what? And they're like, Amanda, do you not know what the fuck's going on? And I'm watching this. And I talked about this on a prior one of our episodes, but we had a Muslim student in our psych class that we were going to directly. That was our very first morning class, and I remember that was. And we also had a Muslim teacher, and so it was. And again, we're in a very Republican town, so it was watching it was devastating. But the most heart-wrenching was walking into that class. What the fuck? And we're all sitting there and I'm sitting back and I'm like, eyeing Mason and I'm like, dude, like, are you, me and a few of my friends, I kind of backed up our chairs from where our usual sitting spot was just to make sure that if anybody was at a heightened moment, that she had this barrier.
Protection. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then our teacher walked in and you could see that just that death look.
Yeah.
We're going home now. Like, classes are canceled.
Yeah.
No one, it's time to go home. And everyone shared, we all shared our cell phone numbers with Mason and said, if anything happens, please call us. We'll be at your house. Give us your address. We'll be right there. Like, I'm concerned for you because this isn't you, but right now the news is saying this is a terrorist action of Muslims against us. And I went home and I laid on my couch and I took my big fucking purple fucking cover and I laid on my couch for 3 days and I cried.
It wasn't an attack of terrorist Muslims. It was religious extremists. I'm not Catholic, so it doesn't matter. But like Christians did it with the Crusades. Like it's going to be this thing where my God's got a bigger dick than yours, and religious extremists did this. There's a million theories. Mine is that because during the Desert Storm War, they were helping us out and say, just like in this area, in this particular area right here, don't shed blood. Of course, blood got shed. And that's, so for me, it's kind of like, well, and I'm not going to go with that you so shit, because it's still religious extremism going, you shed blood here, you must die. Like, no fucking way. I guess it
was a really hard, and not only that, but like you said, it was a time, and I'll say this in a shitty manner, but like you said, I wish that we could live in that moment. I wish that we lived in that moment. I don't want to live in that moment.
I want to live in that after moment where we were just all fucking good to each other.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't take a moment like that to get us to all just fucking accept everybody for their idiosyncrasies, accept everybody for their fucking differences. Why does it have to be? Why do towers have to crumble? Why do we need a field in Pennsylvania that wasn't there to begin with? Why do employees that show up for their job at the Pentagon have to fucking just get irradiated for us to be like look at each other and be like, I fucking love you today, man. Like, why can't we just do that every day? Why does it? It's where this conversation started this evening. We're so fucking angry about things that we disagree with that we don't take the time to think about, like, well, why do we disagree with it? Why don't we like it?
Well, no, that's an absolute excellent point. And I think that's the one thing that I really appreciate about both of our podcasts is that because you really pinpoint out the things that, like, Crawford and I will get on these, like, crazy, like, pedestals about things that are fucking, like, make us angry and make us crazy. And then your podcast says, okay, that's right. You should be pissed. But, like, why are you going to let this ruin everything that you have? And that is something that I always try to, I'm constantly on that edge. I'm constantly like, I've got 2 kids and, like right now I have a school levy that's going on about school security, and do we pass a levy, that puts more cops in my school? And I am the kid that, X amount of years ago when I was in high school.
But that's it, it's the era.
X amount of years ago, that wore, when we first implemented security guards, we did it very poorly, we'll put it that way. And so we made these shirts called the Potty Police. And we had like barcode numbers with our jail cell tags on it and a big old potty on it. And, like, are you going to get me today? Because we were having a lot of bomb threats at our school. They were all fake. It really was. A majority of them were because we wanted to get out of class. And we knew that we put a bomb threat up, you got sent home for the day. Until they got onto it, then we got to but then and it's funny, it's not funny, but it's funny because they only happened during the good weather days. Like when it was really beautiful and sunny out that you had a bomb threat. Okay.
That's pretty convenient.
It was super convenient. Well, the first time we fucked up, so our first bomb threat, I'm not going to say that I knew the people who did it. At the time I did not, but now I know who actually did it. They wanted out of school so they could get high and drunk, and that's what happened. So what we fucked up in our city schools was they said the bombs were in the gymnasium, so they put all the kids in the gymnasium and had them pull out the bleachers to look for the bombs. So, yeah, right? So
wait a second. Wait.
I can see your face.
The kids, fuck, I know you can, because we're on this. Well, we can't say, but so they had the kids looking for the bombs.
Yeah, they had the kids pulling out the bleachers.
Oh, they figured they either had your number by then and they knew.
Yeah, they had the kids.
They really just fucked up.
They really fucked up. So the parents were obviously super pissed. The very first bomb threat we had after 9/11 it was prior to 9/11, but our very first bomb threat was that we had our kids pulling out bleachers where the bombs could possibly be with the police department. Because not only that, but you're saying there's a bomb in the gymnasium and you put all the kids in the gymnasium. And at that point, you've got to remember that even though we're a small town, our graduating classes are about 410 students. So you have freshmen, you're talking about 1,200 kids in a gymnasium waiting to get blown up. So that changed part of the bomb threat mode, which said, okay, if bomb threats happen, the kids are going to get sent home. So therefore, this slew of bomb threats then happened so we could get sent home from school. But during that, Yeah. So but a lot of these bomb threats were happening on bathroom windows and bathroom doors through lipstick or Sharpies or whatever else. So then they started implementing security guards to check in on the bathrooms, which again meant like if you were taking too long, so let's say you had a shit, and you're taking too long to take a shit, then security guards would walk in and kind of like not quite peer over at your shit, but would peer over at you, which was super invasive.
What if you're rubbing one out?
Or you're rubbing one out, right? So it's super invasive. And so we made up these potty patrol shirts, and we made a mockery of our high school. We really were the fucking assholes, and a lot of us got detentions. Some got suspensions for it. It was a whole thing. So then now in my 30s, I've got 2 kids, and they're talking about bringing in more protection because of all the school shootings, and do we need I'm like, look, if you guys had more mental health adversaries in our school, we wouldn't have the necessary needs for this, in my opinion, because a lot of these kids don't actually, I'm not saying the kids who have shot up the schools didn't want to shoot the schools, but could they have been curbed through just a general mental health check-in. And even if by your dumb student counselor, school's counselor who may not be the right fit, but could at least check.
Yes, but that's
also
at the time,
another.
and I guess you're going for the Columbine thing too. But like at that time, like
Columbine it did happen.
Shitty kids are shitty kids are shitty kids. Like I went to high school, I wasn't the most popular fucking person. I know,
right? Me either.
You can't believe it, right? But because I thought for myself, and I wasn't a hive mind person, and I was the guy with the long hair. Where at that time that I was in high school, movies portrayed the guy with the long hair as the bully to the jock, to the guy that played sport. Like, oh my god, that guy with the long hair that's smoking cigarettes is picking on me. Bullshit. That's not how it really worked. That was not fucking reality.
Right.
I myself am a former inmate, I guess I would say, of a mental health facility, and I played ping pong and piano a lot. It was agreed that I didn't need to be there, but I do have depression. I do suffer from it at times, or sometimes I just deal with it, and sometimes it's not there, and those are good times. Why don't we just stop and like listen to what the kids have to say today? Because kids are going to be shitty to each other. It's just a thing that that's the cycle. That's the revolution. It keeps going. It keeps going. This kid looks different. Although the one thing I've noticed now is that like we don't make fun of people for how they look anymore. Like, oh, this person's not as attractive as like. It's just that it's really based on personality or preference. Like, oh, you like Star Wars? I don't. I have a football. It's a different.
It's a whole different environment, and that's
what
my
there's a lot
struggle
more
bus
acceptance
really is
now.
with is that like how do I somebody who was so much against extra security now want extra security for her students? And I said the only thing that really, and I have said this 1,000 times, I said the only thing that really, here's the fucked up part of my parenting is that when Childish Gambino came out with his song, This Is America. And I got in some shit because I let my kids watch the video and listen to the song. Because
with who?
With me.
But with who did you get in shit
with family members. And saying, is this proper? Is this okay that you're, I mean, why are you letting your kids watch this? And I remember it being like a moment that I walked into and I said, in front of these family members, I looked at my youngest and I said, and I'm trying to explain to them that right now my kid is living into a whole different era that we've ever lived into. So I look at my youngest, who is 9, and I look at him and I say, right now they're doing what they call school shooter drills. So it's super shitty, right? But I look at him and I say, hey, explain to me what school shooter drills are in front of these family members that think that I'm going too far by allowing you to watch this really fucked up video, which I think is a brilliant fucking piece of art. But whatever.
No, it is.
And he explains to me, okay, well, step 1 is, they have these things that we've been promoting, which is called the boot on the door. It's a metal piece that goes in the door, and it can sustain up to 1,500 pounds. So if somebody tries to barricade in, the door is locked. The teacher puts it in. The kids are stuck into the classroom. So if things start getting heated, you start to barricade your desks to the door amongst this. And he goes, and then step 3 is that if they get through the door, I know that I'm small enough, Mom, that I can go into the cabinet, and then I hide into the cabinet until the shooting is done, and then I can come out. And while I'm sitting there in tears because my 9-year-old is explaining to me that in case that somebody fucking shoots up his school, that his teacher, who gets paid $32,000 a year, minus benefits, gets to put a metal fucking thing in the door to hopefully hold up to it, but the kids are being taught to put the desk up to the door, and if all else fails, fucking hide into a cabinet, because thankfully you're skinny and small enough to hide from the school shooter, and hopefully he doesn't find you and to stay quiet enough.
And let's not... No, I don't...
And you want to tell me that Childish Gambino's This Is America is to... whatever, to let my kid watch. Okay, here's the thing. My kid knows that. When we dissected it, because we did, trust me, don't think that I did not have this
So you
conversation.
found a really good Prince tune in there too.
Yeah, but we didn't, we had a very open-ended conversation because of Columbine, because I was a kid in school who watched Columbine news. When Columbine happened, we were in an age where there was television, small ones, but in our
school,
classroom.
in your rooms. Yeah.
And we watched them, and we watched all of Columbine. And so I was the generation of Columbine. I am bowling for Columbine. I am Michael fucking, I am his fucking advocate because I watched it happen. And now I have kids where Columbine was a rare substance, and I will knock on wood because I know we are so close to the holidays that our school shootings are getting ready to incur right about Thanksgiving time, that we will start to see the uptick in them again. But right now, I
don't want to worry you, but there's a vote next week too.
Yeah. And we have voting, and we have midterms, and we already have a guy who's sending out bombs at people. So tell me, at what point is it safe for me to talk to my kids? And not only that, but when is it safe for us? And
that's not my place to answer that. That's only your place to answer that because they're your kids.
Exactly. And my kids know a few things. We have gay friends. We have gay friends who are married. We have gay friends who have done in vitro fertilization.
Do you have interracial friends?
We have interracial friends.
Because my wife is Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Ooh, sexy.
I don't. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're lucky, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, interracial. I mean, I talk about every spectrum because, in my opinion, and we talk about everything from transgender, gay, lesbians, IVF. There's not a part of reality that I don't talk with my kids, and some people think that I'm too honest, but
there's no such thing as too honest. What you're doing is teaching your kids to understand that everybody is everybody. This person is a person. This person is a person. This happens to be thing is bullshit. Nothing happens to be. It just is. So your friends that are gay, they're gay. They don't happen to be gay, but they happen to be a friend of your kids, or they happen to be a friend of yours that your kid accepts for who they are. Transgender person, fine. They didn't identify. My friend Rob and I actually talked about a friend of mine from back in the day that she was blown away. They're like, I knew who that person was. I'd seen them right in the middle of the op when the beard started. Their beard is fucking amazing, by the way. You never would know.
You're jealous, aren't you?
Know. But what you're teaching your kids is this: to accept everybody for who they are as a person, not what society says they are about a person.
Exactly, and that's also and that's so difficult. Like you said, and I also, it's funny because I'm teaching my kids to accept everything else, and at the same time, when I catch myself where I'm like, hey, you've literally been wearing the same clothes for 3 days. Can you change it? And their version of everything is, well, why does it matter, Mom? Because
they're listening to me, and you should not let them do that.
Right. But then there is that part where I say, you know what? If you're comfortable and you still have friends and you still have, you're right. I was born with the idea that it matters that you have to change your clothes every day. It matters that you shower every day. It matters that how you look and how you present yourself, because how you present yourself says something about me. But that's not correct. No, and I'm learning that I have to learn to correct myself because I know that it doesn't really matter. And at the same time, trying to teach kids self-awareness and
self-worth.
Self-worth is really hard right now in a time where Instagram hits, or Mom, how many podcast listeners are you getting, and are you popular, and are you going to make money? I'm like, babe, I'm not doing this for, somebody wants to pay me to talk shit
but
all
Woody
day.
Allen said it best, though. It's not the quantity, it's the quality.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of those really great things that we've had. And I feel like we've been I've been rambling on. I'm really sorry if I ever cut you off or we changed,
not at all. I've done the same to you. You know what it is? You get this is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
I just feel bad because I know that through all the podcast things that I've been reading is that you should always make sure that if you have a guest on that you do let them do all the talking. And so I feel really bad if I have not let you do the majority of talking, or if I have cut you
I'm
off.
sure I've interrupted you plenty of times, then went on 10-minute rants. It's totally cool. So Miles, tell us where we can find you.
Oh, Sean, this has seriously been such a fun conversation.
This
I'm
has
not
been
going to lie.
amazing.
Like, it really has been amazing. And now I feel like, hey, at any point, maybe me and Sean will just start doing some weekly fun podcasts of just some
I think
rants.
What Does It Matter is done, and I'm just going to, like, join yours.
Exactly. And
it's the realest.
Well, and that's why we can just send each other files. You're like, hey, I don't feel like I got my own thing, so I will send my file to you, and we can both use it as our own episode.
Oh, my God.
Right? So
That's
you could
gonna be
use me,
fucking
like, you
weird.
could use your next, like, episode as me, and I could use my next episode as you.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be smart?
Holy shit. Like, so this episode is going to be both
Both.
episodes.
Yeah.
However you do it is however I'm going to do it, though.
Hey, look, equality for all. We both get credit.
Well, I agree. Except unless you put your dick in a child, because that's unless you were a child at the time.
That's wrong. But then, see, and what you can do is that you can just do your own little small intro, and then you can be like, hey, by the way, here is Miles and I podcasting, and then you can do this episode and post to your podcast for your episode, and I can post to our episode for our podcast.
You know what I want to do? I love that idea, but I'm going to go ahead and no, this is you. This is all you. This is fucking perfect.
Well, whatever. I'm still going to send you the fucking episode just so you have it.
I'm just going to fucking download it when it comes out so you get the fucking numbers.
It will be so great, and I think that this was, such a fabulous episode, but I want everybody who is listening, Sean, where the hell are they going to find you?
WDIM. Oh, shit. My mic just fell for a second. WDIMpodcast.com or on Twitter at WDIM Podcast. If you want to get old school, though, like, hit up myspace.com/WDIM Podcast. Join the revolution? I don't know.
Where can they find your actual music at?
SeanFaustMusic.com. That's a weird question to answer.
Yeah, I know, but I want you to make sure that people listen to your amazing music.
SeanFaust.bandcamp.com. Check out Boba Fett. Get annoyed. Tell your friends.
See, there we go. And I want to go ahead and I want to thank Sean from the WDIM podcast for being on this wonderful, amazing episode. I know that I got to pee, I got to do a nice little cocktail hour, and then I've got to edit. So this has been invigorating, enlightening, educating, fun, awesome, just a damn good time overall.
Oh, I fucking loved this.
This is better than going to a bar on a Friday night. Like, this has been way better.
No, this was the thing that I've needed for the past, like, since I listened to your show. Yes. And man, it's like woman. See, we gotta, like, there's vernaculars that have to leave, but
see, I'm all about, like, you guys. To me, is a very, like, whatever. It's
no, I get it.
Universal.
I get it. But, like,
it's
universal.
universal.
Just that, like, let's represent womanhood at some point too.
Well, Sean, thank you so much. We're going to end this. I definitely have to pee because women bladder only lasts so long. But we will definitely edit. I can't wait to put this episode out. Anyways, everybody, subscribe to WDIM podcast. What does it matter? If you want to know why it doesn't matter or why it does matter, listen to Sean. It's amazing. Fucking subscribe. He's a rock star. So thank you very much, Sean. You take care, dear.